Well, hello everyone. Apologies, you can't see my camera. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? But hello everyone, welcome back to the Creator Series. I'll quickly fix that now. Apologies. Of all the people I've been sorting everyone else's cameras out, can't even sort myself out. Let's start again. Hello everyone, welcome. My name being George Morgan. Welcome back to the F1 Creator Series. Live here tonight. We've returned. We are back. It's the Brazilian Grand Prix. We're heading to Interlagos for yet another round. And what a race we have in prospect with some certainly some familiar characters that I'm sure you're used to. But I'm not alone bringing you the action because we got the one, the only. It is the Badgerman. Badgerman, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastically, George. How are you?
I'm better now that I'm in picture, that I'm not a black screen anymore. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. But yeah, great to have you guys here as well. We've got plenty of viewers here, Badgerman, all looking forward to a great Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be a spectacle, I think.
Yeah, as they should. They should definitely look forward to this one. 71 laps around a circuit that has plenty of overtaking opportunities, plenty of challenges to put the drivers through, and certainly the bit of a skill gap that we have as well in the Creator Series, where not everyone is on 100% esports pace. And I think actually Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk, two of the drivers that are near the very top of the standings, aren't here. So we might have a bit less of a skill gap, but that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot because we still have drivers that are going to have to be on the top of their game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, we're going to bring in another person as well, none other than the man himself, Daniel Gilligan. And I'm going to swap over to our new feed because, of course, very exciting. Daniel there in the bottom right of the screen. How are you doing, Daniel?
I'm very well, thank you, George. How are you doing this evening?
Living the dream. And you're going to be debuting our brand new segment here on Creator Series. Obviously, a new feature where we analyse certain incidents, certain clips, and every little, I suppose, the seedy underbelly of the F1 Creator Series. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, I suppose you could say so. It'll be the unfiltered insight into what is going on inside the cars, because what we're going to be doing is, of course, over the course of the stream, as we always encourage you to do at the Creator Series here, if you're watching on other people's streams, on the participant streams, then make some good clips, send them across into the Discord, and then we will feature those clips here on the broadcast when we have moments of lull in the race, if those, of course, happen to come along.
Absolutely right. Effectively, Daniel is going to be providing us with his, I suppose, Ted Kravitz view. I think is probably the best way we could sort of diagnose your position here for this broadcast here, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, do I need to start sort of going, hello, George? Yeah, so we've got something down in the paddock right now, and something like that. Is that how we sort things out in this instant here?
Well, do you know, we've been discussing names for this segment, and I came up with Creator Series Scan with Daniel Gilligan. But I think someone in the live chat has actually done a better job. Actually, they've come out and said Dan's clipbook. I think that's fantastic.
Oh. I'll take that. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
We might have to incorporate that. Thank you. Is that a Space Ghost? Thank you for providing that name. That is fantastic. But Daniel, great to have you on board, mate. Well done as well on last week. Great to have you on board here at the Creator Series, and we'll look forward to seeing you later on, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, George, and I'm sure that everybody is going to be relieved that you are back in the driving seat here today, no pun intended, and we'll have a nice, smooth broadcast, here's hoping.
Well, I tell you what, I don't believe that for a minute, but thank you so much, Daniel. Great to have you on board, mate. Badgerman, what do you make of this? Obviously, we like broadcasting new features, certainly bringing new features to the audience here at the F1 Creator Series. Certainly has become the most ambitious broadcast, I think, in all of league racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really, really important to constantly keep innovating. I remember back in the day when I was on the broadcast team of PSGL, and I was really pushing at the time. That was the big breakthrough, you know, to stream from PlayStation, a PlayStation League race, but with OBS. Look how far we've come over the last 2-3 years in all of league racing. Now we're having Dan's clipbook, as it's now known.
I think that's genius, by the way. I think clipbook is genius. I love it. I love how someone's come up with that. It's absolutely fantastic. And just to say as well, obviously we debuted your separate stream as well, Badgerman. We've got the I'm not sure, data center, the data
channel.
The data channel. You're now broadcasting that?
Yeah, that's over on my channel right now, twitch.tv/Badgerman. I'm going to type in the chat real quick. You can have both on at the same time. In fact, can I post a link in the chat? If so, I'm just going to post the link for the multi-Twitch. So you're not going to lose this broadcast right here, but you also will be able to open the data channel on the same monitor. You will have both at the same time. I can apparently post a link. I hope everyone can see that. If it's 3 asterisks, then it didn't work. But I hope it did. And you can see all the timing data. One thing that probably isn't going to come into effect much today is going to be the weather. But you can see a track map. You can see all the drivers around the circuit. You can see all the tire compounds that they're on, how long they've been on them. All the data you could possibly ask for will be on that channel. Just a word of caution as well. There is the same audio that you hear on the main broadcast will also be on the data channel. So it's probably best if you mute one of the 2 channels, more likely the data channel.
Otherwise they'll hear us twice, basically.
Exactly. Unless you only want to watch the data channel, in which case be my very guest.
Or if you can't get enough of us, watch us twice. Got no problem with that.
Or that.
You know, that's absolutely fine. But obviously, looking ahead, Badgerman, I know a few people have been asking where they can find the standings, where they can find all the updates. Obviously, the social media platforms are the best place to discover those. And there is Dirk Chocolate's Discord as well, if you want to stay up to date with the happenings of the Creator Series 2, but head over to the social media channels, folks, at F1 Creator Series, and you can stay up to date. That's on Twitter, Instagram, various places. Harry has very kindly posted the socials as well in the chat for you guys to check out. But let's talk about recent happenings, because Daniel, I'm going to bring you back in on this. Can you sort of just give the audience a heads up? What happened last time when we went racing at China?
China? Do you
was
mean
it China?
Abu Dhabi?
No, sorry, Abu Dhabi. Apologies.
China
China was the
just
previous one I missed.
Yeah, that was just a test to make sure I was paying attention. Right? You obviously knew it the whole time.
It was. I did. Yeah, totally. This is why. This is why it's Dan's clipbook later on.
Well, essentially what happened last time is we had a great bit of driving from the majority of the cars out there. Not going to name any names for those who may not fit into the majority there. But we've had some good drives, particularly from Ben Daly, of course, and another couple of drivers coming from all the way at the back of the grid and then launching themselves up towards the front of the order. Now, whether or not that then ended up resulting in an ultimate great result, well, that's something you'll have to go back and check the VOD for. But albeit it was a great bit of driving, and we had a great surprise win out of it all as well.
We did have a big surprise win, and naturally, it breaks the trend, does it not? That we've had Alex Gillen winning 3 times consecutively, then Tiamat Marduk winning 3 times consecutively. I believe it was Bushy Ants who came out on top on this occasion.
It was indeed. Yep, the Mercedes managed to get themselves a great result there at Abu Dhabi, and it was interesting to see their progress up the field. It was perhaps not quite as imperious as we may have seen with Ben Daly, for example, coming from that further bit back, and then of course a bit more of a headline sort of performance, I suppose you could say, with Bushy having already started relatively far forward and then sort of keeping out trouble for the most part, and then making the moves where they needed to. Ultimately, with a great big 3-wide moment all the way down towards the last few corners at the end of the second sector, start of the third in Abu Dhabi. So it was some great bit of driving, some good heroics, some good clips, both of good driving and not so good driving. But it was a pleasure to commentate and to watch all the same.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. And Badgerman, over to you. Was there any sort of particular moments that impressed you? Any particular drives? Any particular I suppose people behind the wheel that we can say gave their absolute best? Any horror stories?
So the first thing I want to point out is another horror story, but it's a very familiar one because for the 7th time in a row, and football fans may remember the Liverpool-Manchester United game that ended 0-7 or 7-0. In the same vein, Mr. Dale, for the 7th time in a row, has not finished a race. This time he lasted a whopping 34 laps, though, which is more than half, and I think that may have been a first for the series, for this season at the very least. Normally, we're lucky if we see more than 5 laps from him, but 34 laps was quite impressive considering the track record he's had so far, but at the same time, he's 0 for 7 right now, and but he said he's gonna finish this one. Whether that will happen, we're yet to find out.
Well, that's a positive. At least he's going to finish this one. I suppose that's we'll take the positives where we can get him, I suppose, Badgerman. But hey, look, enough of us chatting. Let's head across to the broadcast screen. As you can see, folks, we are back here at the Creator Series. This time, it is the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are here at Interlagos, and nevertheless, always a great race here at Interlagos. Delivers every time. We have seen it time and time again. As you can see, the intermediate tyres back out onto the circuit. Familiar names on the left-hand side as well. Great to see them all back. And we have got, certainly in the McLaren team this time out, we've got Zafso and Swave making up part of that order. Of course, the return of Carbon Shadow, Juswan Ali in the Ferrari as well. He's joined by Al Taco Man. We've got Dirk Chocolate, of course, in the Red Bull, and Infratic joining him. Some big stories again. Again, the narrative continues, Badgerman. Dirk Chocolate, is he the #1 driver? A lot of people saying he's the #2.
I mean, if we go by the standings, you got to be completely honest. He is the #1 driver right now within Red Bull. He is clearly ahead in the standings. He is sitting on 20 points right now, with Infratic being on exactly half of that, 10. So I think, based on that, it would be Dirk. And if we look at the recent happenings in their co-op series, and I remember, I think there was a race 1 or 2 days ago, I think it may have been yesterday actually, where Dirk actually won the race and Fabio retired. So it can't be any clearer than that.
No, it absolutely can't. There you can see Dirk making his way down through towards turn 1, getting ready to start his first lap, no less. And we'll have to see what he can enlist for sure. As he now heads down through towards the center S's, a smile on his face, making a return, marking a return here to the Creator Series at Brazil as well. It's been such a prosaic championship fight, and I happen to know as well that he actually did come out on top against Infratic, which I know he was delighted with. Can he carry that form into Interlagos tonight, Badger?
Yeah, that is the question, and the problem I think that I see is that the race in the co-op series was not at Interlagos, it was at Silverstone, which is quite a different circuit. It doesn't have the tight and twisty middle sector that Interlagos has. Doesn't have that those kinds of corners anywhere really. Silverstone doesn't. So it's a different circuit, it's a different beast to tame. And I'm a bit worried for both drivers, to be quite honest, as to how they are going to get on with this track. But I would give Dirk slightly better chances than Infratic, simply because over the last couple of weeks, I think Dirk has consistently outperformed his teammate.
Yeah, and I think he'd agree with you as well. He's just making his way up towards the line now.
Of course he would.
He goes fourth fastest ahead of GB68 as well. Bushy Ants currently holding all the cards, following on from a blistering race at Abu Dhabi. Of course, Daniel Gillen corrected me there. It certainly was not China. Bushy Ants up at the top with a 111.285. Good to see him back on top because he's had some bad luck, Badgerman.
He certainly has, but he is back on top. Bushy, consistently one of the fastest drivers here on the in the Creator Series, on the grid. And so to see him finally get his first win of the season certainly was a fantastic moment, as close as it was as well. Let's not forget that Temet Marduk crossed the line with only half a second behind Bushy Ants. Obviously, Temet Marduk did also have a 3-second time penalty, which ultimately pushed him down to P3. But the finish itself was quite close.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of his performances, obviously you can certainly factor in the lack of luck, but there has been some condition changes, not to mention safety cars that have crept in that might have upset a few people's races, though, Dirk. We tend to see it consistently in the Creator Series. It adds to the thrill, certainly adds to the spills. You certainly have to be a measured performer. I'd say another man who probably needs a little bit of a boost of luck is Mr. Dale in the Aston Martin. I mean, when is this crashing theme gonna stop, I suppose, at this point?
Well, he said today, so I can only go by what he promises us. I'm a bit more skeptical because the one thing that surprised me, I talked to him about this track a little earlier today, and the two critical spots for him I identified as being turn 1 and turn 4, because that's where the walls tend to be the closest to the track. On the exit of turn 1, you can spin to the left if you just apply a little bit too much throttle, and the wall on the left side, the tyre wall, is quite close. and with the damage setting in this lobby, it's quite easy to end up in that wall, and if you do, that could be you out of the race. And the second one would be the exit of turn 4, which Dale actually agreed with, so at least he identified that as a potential spot of hazard. But then he said turn 6, the uphill right-hander called Ferradura, or Horseshoe, which I'm a bit surprised by, because if we can go on board with someone, I think Mr. Dale is heading there right now, and he is actually P1 as it stands. You're going to notice the wall's quite far away, generally speaking. There's quite a bit of gap there, and a bit of runoff area, so I'm a bit surprised that he thinks he could end up in the wall there. I think, you know, maybe he's already thinking the worst, but to disregard turn 1 like that, I've seen plenty of drivers in league racing, near the top of league racing, end up after a tiny bit of contact in that wall on the left side on the exit of turn 1. So he's got to be careful with that, and if he underestimates that wall there and that corner, then I'm worried it's going to be 0-8.
Yeah, and I don't think you'd be mistaken by thinking that. He's coming into the pits, but set a 108 to kick things off. Fastest man on the soft tyres, at least for now. Obviously still early days here. Of course, tonight also marks the return of Hun as well, who's currently sat in 15th place, just exiting the pit lane now as well, soon to start her outlap. Great to see her here as well. And we've got some more female drivers stepping into the Creator Series, because Rift Blondie has just recently entered the Discord. Rumours setting in that she's going to certainly make her dramatic debut soon in the Creator Series. Can't wait to obviously see her at it. It's amazing to see so many female drivers taking part in this championship. Wouldn't you agree, Badgerman?
I definitely agree, 100%. It's always great to see both genders come together in competition, but also, you got to remember, at the end of the day, the Creator Series, it's not that much about competition, obviously. Everyone wants to win, but it's also about friendship, about, you know, coming together, having fun together, and to see more and more creators, male or female, come together and join is just fantastic, and Rift Blondie is just the latest name, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more.
I think so, and Rift Blondie making herself known in the chat. Great to have you here, Rift, and we'll hope to see you out on the track very soon. Matty D13 going second fastest, around just over a tenth, just in behind Mr. Dale there. Actually fastest, though, in the second and third sector. So that first sector, very crucial. Dirk Chocolate now going fourth fastest as well. He'll be pleased with that. Just under 4 tenths off the pace of Mr. Dale. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of confidence. Mr. Dale holding on to a reasonable margin there at the front end. Can he carry it through to Q2? That's the big question. We still have 9 minutes left as just when Ali goes second fastest.
Yeah, second fastest by 1,000th of a second with a purple final sector as well. So very, very strong indeed here by just one Ali, but not quite enough for P1. Certainly a very good lap. And we've seen before, both of those drivers, Dale and Ali, have been doing very well in qualifying before. So that 108.5, likely near the top end of what's possible for these drivers. I think maybe Bushy can, join in. Maybe Meraki, who has only done a lap on Inter so far, same with Bushy as well. If Safso goes 108.4, I think we're not going to get much more here in Q1. Best we're probably going to see as Meraki goes for mediums. I've said this before. I'm sorry, I have to mention it again. What is he thinking? You need 2 sets of medium tires for the race, or else you're going to put yourself at a significant disadvantage. And that's what Meraki might be doing here right now. He's done it last time. It did not serve him well whatsoever. And he's making the same mistake again. It's okay to make that mistake once. That's fine. You do it twice. Yes, I'm going to call you out.
Keep calling them out, Badgerman. Keep calling them out. That's absolutely brilliant. Just to ask, we have got, of course, Hun in the one house. Who is her teammate? Because I've currently got... not available on my timing tower, which basically tells me...
On my timing tower, it is Mick Schumacher himself.
Is it? It's Mick Schumacher.
Yes,
Mick Schumacher.
There's no
on my timing tower, because I'll be honest. Big thanks to Rutanius for this, by the way. He doesn't know this, but I found his video on team telemetry. Best piece of software I have ever picked up in the history of telemetry software. Absolutely fantastic. I use it on my laptop, keeps me up to date with everything that's going on, but I am also seeing Schumacher in P20, and as much as I'd love to think that Mick Schumacher is in this series, GB68 going fastest with a 108.277, Infratic going 5th fastest as well. As much as I would like to think Schumacher is here in this series, I shudder to think, I don't think he is.
No, he's not. There's currently actually no no driver actually in the second half. If a driver joins between now and the end of Q3, that driver would take over that currently spare halves. But as things stand right now, we only have 19 drivers in the lobby, so only 4 will get eliminated.
We've got insight. We've got insight. It's Liam 30. It's Liam, it is. Liam's in the Haas, so that makes sense. There we go. Liam will be joining us mid-quali in the Haas. So great to have you here. Alex Budd now going 10th fastest as well, but Bushy Ants back again. First fastest, a 108.181. And that's not bad at all. Great lap from him too. But Tom is finding all extraordinary pace in the first and second sector as he now makes his way out of Junsao. He's now going to cross the next left-hander, open up the rear wing, open up the DRS. Now, what is Alpine's ambassador going to unleash here across the line? Third fastest with a 108.393. Cracking run in Sector 1 and 2. Might have lost a little bit in Sector 3.
Yeah, looking at the timing tower for me here right now, yeah, he lost about a 10th compared to just one alley. But to Bushy and GB, he didn't quite lose that much time. I think it was more so a case of the middle sector, which really is the sector around here, because that's where you gain or lose most of the time. That's where you have most of the corners located here in the middle sector. The first sector is really just the center S, and that's it. And the final sector is really just Junsao, and that's it. So the middle sector, the crucial one, that's where it matters the most, and that's where Bushy Ents right now is the quickest.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking in really, really good form. If we go have a look at the sector times, everybody. Mr. Dale currently fastest of all in the first sector. Second sector, Bushy Ants is the fastest. Just Ali fastest in the third sector. So there's differing sector times in terms of drivers in each sector. So that suggests obviously a very split field, which obviously we like Badgerman because it offers, many irregularities when it comes to the racing. Anybody can essentially win at this point.
Exactly, that is one of the beautiful things of the Creator Series, and I see people in the chat already asking, Meraki doing mediums, Jake 9th on mediums. Yes, he decided to go on to mediums, and if I just quickly can convert that lap time into what a soft run of the same quality would have been. So how much time did he lose based on the lack of grip that the mediums have compared to the softs? So in completely fresh condition, the difference is just over 0.5 of a second. We take away about a 1/10.5, which is how much the softs wear off quicker over the course of 3 laps, mostly in the out lap, and then the flying lap. The in lap obviously tends to be a little bit slower, but that's 0.3. We take half of that because that's sort of the middle point. So we're at about 3.5 up to 0.4, and he would have been right around P3, right around where that guy Vince is right now with a 108.35. That's where Meraki would have ended up had he done that lap on the softs.
Goodness me. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that pans out for him. I wouldn't have recommended mediums necessarily for your first run, because like you said, you might need that during the race. There is a very likely chance, and it really is bewildering how he's opted for that strategy. But still, nonetheless, he's done it now. So it's all on him, and we'll have to wait and see whether it does pan out for him. Curb's currently out on track as well, and he is right on the bubble of safety. We've also got Carbon Shadow out on track as well. Now, he's currently in the elimination zone. Not a bad performance from Hun either. She's 17th fastest and only half a second away from Curbs in the elimination spot. If she gains a little bit of time before the end of the session, she has got time. It's 2.5 minutes to go. Carbon Shadow is looking to try and get himself prepped ready for a run as well. Plenty of big names in the back as well, Badgerman. Rasin Chai currently sat in 19th fastest. We're not used to seeing him there.
Yeah, not really. Normally he is a little bit further up the road, and he just went up to P14 at least, pushing down Curbs into 16th, who has actually abandoned his lap, but he can go for another one. 2 minutes left in the session. I think, yeah, he just started using his ERS now, has turned it on, and he is going to go for another lap here. The reason why he abandoned the lap in the first place was in the Senna S. It didn't go too well for Curbs on his previous attempt, and he actually lost half a second there. Must have had a huge moment. But this time around, let's see what the first sector split for Curbs is going to be, as he's got traffic on his left side. 17-0. He's slightly down on his own time, but it's not much that it's worrying. Meraki retiring, it's a bit of a bold move, but it might just work out. Remember last time he tried to qualify on mediums in Q1, he qualified 16th and he was out in Q1. So we'll see if the same thing happens again this time, as everyone now out on track behind Meraki. Hayden Gullis and El Taco Man, the last two cars to leave the pit lane, and therefore now on outlaps. But Curbs now 4.5 tenths up, and he might get a little bit of a tow here as well. That is crucial. That could send him all the way to a 108.7 potentially in P12.
Good well do. Coming up towards the line now. Is this going to be enough to secure his safety off the bottom? P11 it certainly 11. Is. A 108.711. That tow was crucial, Badgerman.
It certainly was. Even better than I expected it to be. I thought he was going to be behind Hayden Gullis, but no. Beats him and almost beats Meraki and Matty as well. Only 5 milliseconds there. Alex Budd moving up to P5. Who is next? El Taco Man starting a lap. Swave in P14 right now. He's up 3 tenths though. He could easily end up in P10 right here, as he is about to cross the line. 108. Where does the clock stop? 108 and the devil's number, and it is P10 indeed.
It certainly is. A 108.666, enough for safety. Call the devil. You'll certainly take that one. Gullis there in 14th as well. He's looking for some improvements. Currently still in safety, as now we see Matty D13 go to the top. 6,000's knocked off his time too, and got ahead of Bushy Ant. So we got a yellow flag. What's the latest, Badgerman?
Carbon Shadow just spun out of Jungsao, and now more cars are coming there, so he is out at this point. Carbon Shadow will not improve, has to let other cars through here. This is going to be really, really important. Dirk Chocolate was actually running into that yellow flag. He's improving by half a tenth. It's going to be a little bit more, but no position. He is on the bubble right now, but Razin's out. Carbon Shadow out, just Hun out. It's El Taco Man or Dirk Chocolate here for the final spot. Only one can make it through. Taco Man is up by 3 seconds on his quite lackluster time. Is it enough to move on? It is a Dirk Chocolate. Once again, he's falling back into old habits. Out in Q1.
Well, I think the heartbreak is certainly going to be on the cards here for Dirk Chocolate. He's going to be devastated, and there you can see with the screen of the man who put him out, that of course being El Taco Man. Dirk Chocolate out of Q1 yet again, and no doubt the disappointment is going to feel a little ripe at this point. How do you think he's feeling after that one, Badgerman? He's surely going to be feeling a little sore, I think.
Yeah, at the very least, he's going to feel a little bit sore. I think he's going to be very annoyed with himself, because all he missed out on Q2 by was 0.04 of a second. So it's not like it was completely unreachable. It was quite reachable. A tiny mistake here and there was all it took. One less was all it took for him to go through, but he was not able to do it. But I think he's also going to look forward to the race, because this is where Dirk tends to be the strongest. The qualifying position, we've seen it time and time again with him. It didn't matter too much. Once he's in the race, he knows how the strategy works around here, around all the circuits pretty much, and he's got himself a chance to make up places.
Yeah, well, we've lost from that one. Just Hun's gone, Carbon Shadow, Tom, well, Tom, should I say, and Dirk Chocolate, of course, being Rasin Chai. So there we go. He is out of the session. But nevertheless, the man who went fastest was certainly Matty D13. Great time as well. 6,000 separating him and Bushy Ant. So he's going to be absolutely thrilled with that one. Obviously, that will tee up Q2 rather perfectly. Daniel, looking from your perspective, is there anything you could pick out that caught your eye as such?
Well, we've not had any clips submitted, so unfortunately I've got nothing to show you on that front. But certainly over the course of the session, great moment for Curbs getting a fantastic toe to end one of their laps before, and therefore being able to elevate themselves that little bit further up the order without it. So it's been an interesting first qualifying session. Again, we've seen the interesting decision to go on medium tyres by Meraki, but but this time, unlike last week, they've not gone out by just a few hundredths of a second. They have made it through into Q2. So maybe the methods will start to show through the madness.
Certainly will do. Thank you for your insight there, Daniel Gillen. We will be Gilligan. We will be back to you. I just said Gillen. That's incredible. That's Alex Gillen for you. There we are. Maybe you're long lost brothers. Who knows? With a G added in somewhere in between. Who knows? But nevertheless, we are going to be back underway with Q2 action, and it's now a chance for the drivers to certainly find their way into Q3. All about the top 10. If you're in the bottom 5, quite simply enough, you are eliminated. No different to the rules that we had in place in Q1. So onwards and upwards we go, Badgerman. What do these guys need to do to stay on top?
Well, I think for some of them, they definitely have to improve. I think the 108.7, that was the cutoff here for Q2 to get into Q2. That will not suffice anymore. I think we're going to get into the 108.6s, 108.5s even potentially. So it's all about the second run, really. Right now, the target is you've got to put a lap down, usually on the used set from Q1. So it has a little bit of wear in for most drivers. In fact, El Taco Man decides to go a very different route, and I kind of respect it. He's on intermediates again. I don't think he missed out on the Intermediate Championship in Q1. I think he was a part of that. He decided, well, why not do it again? And I kind of rate it, to be honest. But and
could
he's
be
not
part of his brilliant
Meraki.
plan. Could be part of his brilliant plan. Throw off the competition. Say, well, you know, we're expecting rain at the start of this race, chaps. Why don't you get your practice on with the intermediate tyres? Who knows?
Nobody's expecting any rain, by the way. You can see on the data channel right now, it's going to be very sunny indeed for the whole race, which poses its own challenge, by the way. It makes the hard tyre a bit more viable, and it certainly makes the soft tyre less viable. So you want to hold on to your mediums and your one hard compound tyre for the race, for sure. Unless they chose the harder allocation, which I would strongly doubt. In which case they would have 2 sets of hard tyres for the race, but normally it's 1 and 2 sets of the mediums. I think they are going to be very important, which makes Meraki's decision from Q1 all the more baffling to use a set of medium tyres in qualifying, as Safso crosses the line first with a 108.6, only to be immediately beaten by Matti D13, and GB68 is going to obliterate that time in just a second. Mr. Dale goes purple, and then there comes GB with a 108.3. Purple in the first 2 seconds, lost a little bit in the final, could have been a 108.2.
It could well have been. GB68, though, setting the benchmark in the first 2 sectors, which would make a huge difference to where he positions himself right now. So a great start for GB68. He's going to be absolutely thrilled with that one. And we'll certainly have to wait and see as to whether he can produce it. Obviously, sit tight, folks. We've got a long way to go. 11.5 minutes of Q2 still remaining. More cars venturing out onto the track. And Tom is also about to set on his lap as well, obviously opening his account here in Q2. And AlphaTauri running off wide there as well. Now seeing green flag conditions in the first sector, heading out to the center S's, and he'll make his way down towards the Retro-Posta into Decidia del Lago now with the rear wing opened up here for Alpine's favourite ambassador. He's now going to make his way down through towards the next right, that being the very, very fast Ferragura. And you want to try and hug the inside as best you can. Send the car out wide, back on the power. And then in towards Kerber du Laraja, or Laraja, or Laraja. I need to get my pronunciation right on that one. Pinarino comes next through this next left. Pico de Pato next on his list for the menu. And then straight through towards the Marullo, leading up through towards Jun Sao, as you can now see him. Back to the floor again on the throttle. as he now heads through the final few corners left on this opening lap. Tom looking to enlist a rapid lap time. I can tell you this, 16.931 in the first sector, followed up by a 35.025 in the middle. Is this going to be enough to break hearts at the top? It could be. It's not quite, unfortunately. A 108.595 just behind Mr. Dale. Still in proximity. Fourth fastest isn't bad.
Certainly isn't, and he's going to be close to the cutoff, I reckon, with that banker lap already. So that is setting yourself up for success right there. I would actually say the top two could potentially, I mean, I'd be very careful. I'd certainly wait right now, see how the times develop, but they could potentially retire, and they might just be safe with a 108.3 for both GB and Bushy Ants. So 108.4, Mr. Dale, right on the cusp, I think. So gonna be very, very close, but expect here in Q2 some 107s to be put down by some of the drivers in the second run, because most of these drivers have just done a run on the used tire from Q1, and that tends to be about 2 or 3 tenths slower at the very least. Compared to a fresh set. So we could very well end up in the 107s here towards the end of this Q2 session.
Well, I can tell you this, Bushy Ants faster than GB in that final sector, 16.624 despite being in P2 against that of GB 16.736. Where did he lose it all? Sector 1 and Sector 2, as we said, GB 68 putting in a monster shift in sectors 1 and 2 on his flying lap, and is nursing a very, very healthy gap indeed. Plenty of cars still out and about as well. Meraki out on the circuit, still on the intermediate tyres, and that explains why his deltas are currently down at the moment as well. Hayden Gullis, who's also out on track, obviously resident Mercedes driver, and we'll see what he can list in. Hasn't yet set a lap time, as hasn't Swave and Infratic. Infratic actually invalidating his previous run. He has gone faster though in the first sector this time around. Only just over a tenth off the pace of GB68 right up at the top as well. So he is finding certainly some very level-headed pace. This looks like it could be an improvement. This could very easily, as long as he can follow it through, it's faster than that of Just One Ali, who currently sits in 7th fastest as well. As long as he can pursue this sort of time as he now peels through the next left at the Marulo. He's now got Jun Sao coming up next. Only just over just under 2.5 tenths of a second now as he peels through the Archibancardist on the right-hand side, that being the crowds here at Interlagos, as he now heads up towards the line, hugging the inside as well. Is this going to be enough for an improvement? Third fastest for him in Fratic. Impressive pace from him. We haven't really seen this from Fabio in recent weeks, but he'll take some confidence out of that one, Badgerman.
He certainly will. The one thing I'm going to question though is whether that was a used or a new set of soft tires. If it's a new set, it makes sense. If it's a used set, that is an incredible lap from Infratic. But I'm actually more inclined to believe that it is in fact a new set of tires for him. At which point he might still be able to make it into Q3 with that 108.4. But it's going to be right on the cusp. It's going to be right on the edge. And he's going to need a little bit of help, potentially, from some of the other drivers messing up their laps.
Well, Safso going first fastest and clear by just over 2 tenths of a second, a 108.107 on the soft tyres as well. Purple in the second and third sectors, set a 34.610, as you can see on the right hand of your screen, folks, in the middle sector. Final sector is 16.581. There's a little bit of traffic brewing there in the middle as he's now joined by an Aston Martin. That could either be Mr. Dale or GB68. My money is on Mr. Dale as he's the only Aston Martin out on track right now. Many others, though, venturing out. Alex Budd in the AlphaTauri, as is Just One Ali, also out on the circuit too. Swave now in the relegation point. So relegation point, that is, of course, the elimination point. So he will not be going through to Q3 should he remain there, and has, in fact, come into the pits. As El Taco Man is also looking to try and improve on his lap, and has done, actually, in that first sector. He has actually found a really good amount of time, 16.939. Not far off GB's fastest first sector either here, Badgerman.
Yeah, certainly not. That is a fantastic first sector. Only 28 milliseconds behind GB's purple first. But as I said, the middle sector is where it really matters. The first and the final sector are all about straight line speed. The middle sector is the one about the downforce. And that's where you can lose a bit of time. And looking at the top speed ranking, Taco is actually on the lowest top speed of all 15 cars in Q2 so far. That tells me he's got a pretty high downforce setup, potentially, which might help him in the middle sector as he crosses the line with a 108.6. I don't think that's going to be enough, but if that's on the used set from Q1, remember his first run here in Q2 was an Inters, so he could still use the used set now and use a new set at the end of Q2. If he makes his way to the pits now, he should have enough time to do so.
Oh, Mr. Dale just setting the purple lap, 107.983. Wow. Going purple in the first and second sectors. Still not enough to beat Zafso's third sector, but he wasn't far away. A mere 600ths off, and he would have got it. Incredible stuff. 107, the sole 107 in this lobby at the moment. A little bit of venom in Mr. Dale's performance here in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about him setting himself up for even more heartbreak. If you qualify P15 and you then crash out, you're not quite going to be as mad. If you qualify P1, it's only Q2, I get that. But if you qualify in first place on pole position, and then you potentially DNF out of the race, it's all the more heartbreak, and I'm a bit worried for him. But
are you inferring that he is going to crash in this race today? Is that what you're saying? Come on, Badgerman, lay it on the line.
We don't have any historic data to base that on, do we? Oh wait, we do.
Incredible scene.
Dale, if you're listening or watching this back, I'm sorry, but
you're going to apologise to him. You're going to apologise to him.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I feel like at this point, it is a bit harsh. He retires from the session, I think justifiably so. Let's hope it's his only retirement of the day. I need to stop with these things.
Oh, well, I mean, look,
he's entirely justified to retire with a 107.9. I'm going to say this right now. I think he's guaranteed through.
Well, I tell you, another man who could be guaranteed through is Tom. He's gone purple in the first sector, and he's not doing too badly in the second. What about the third? Second fastest for Tom, and joins Mr. Dale, matching the times. Got your bingo cards out, folks. Tom there, to the thousandths of a second, matching Mr. Dale's fastest time. How about that, folks? Incredible scenes here. How often do you see that in Formula One? Scenes similar to that of Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Michael Schumacher, and of course Jacques Villeneuve as well, all those years ago where they matched times, and this time Tom has gone and done it here in Q2 at Brazil.
So, hold on, what is that? Did someone say Jerez 97? I think that's what someone said. So yeah. One more on 107.983. Please, please, please. We just need one more. I don't think it's going to be Curbs. That first sector of a 17.0, unfortunately, a bit far away already. Maybe the middle sector is going to be better, but looking at his top speed ranking, he's right in the middle, so I don't think his middle sector is going to be all too great, as he just doesn't, he might not have the downforce for it. Let's see what it's going to be. Just 0.2 improvement. That wouldn't even be a position right now. So even if he improves in the final sector here, as he runs out of ERS, by the way, that's not good. 8%, 7.65. It's not great, and it is only a 10th improvement for Curb. So I would say with only a minute 15 left in the session and no ERS to his name, unless he doesn't have enough fuel either. It's blinking red. So Curbs and just one Ali, who has retired, out of the session already.
Yeah, he certainly has. That's not ideal at all. Meraki still out and about as well. Obviously, we're still waiting for him to enlist his fast run, but plenty of cars now out on track as we come into the final minutes of Q2. Meraki who of course was on the medium tyres to set his initial time as well, but now on the softs and looking to pursue a place within the top 10. And you would figure him as one of those to make it through, given his consistent pace that we have seen. A winner at Spa as well here in the Creator Series, has won more than one occasion here in the Creator Series too. And we'll have to wait and see whether he can pull it off. Bushyants, though, breaking the hearts of many, though, down to the bottom end. He goes fastest with a 107.738 and beats it. It's going to be no matching 3 times up at the top, because he's just blown Mr. Dale and Tom away at nearly 2.5 tenths of a second. Impressive lap there, Badgerman.
That is an incredible lap. 107.7, beating Dale and Tom by basically a quarter of a second. That is absolutely incredible from Bushyants right there. And that is going to be the yardstick for Q3 right there. As Meraki
very close.
is a 10th slower, but yeah, indeed, very close. A 10th slower than Bushyants there, but also safe into Q3 goes Meraki. In fact, right now we have the top 8 are already safe. The top 9 now, it's down between El Taco Man and Alex Bud. And I don't think El Taco Man is actually improving. He's not. He's not. He's out. That's it. Swave, Hayden Gullis, El Taco Man, Just One Ali, and Curbs are the 5 drivers eliminated here in Q2. And we see Alex Bud in Fratig. That is a surprise right there. GB68, Dad Guyvin, Safsum, Matty D13, Tom, Mr. Dale, Meraki, and Bushyants go through into Q3.
Yeah, Hayden Gullis, quite frankly, disappointed, and for good reason as well. He was knocked out by Swave, who was knocked out by Alex Budd as well up at the top end. Matty D13 also going 5th fastest as well. And there you go, the finger. The look of disappointment on the face of Hayden Gullis. The Mercedes, not enough to take him through to Q3 on this occasion. He is out, along with Swave, El Taco Man, Just One Ali, and Curbs as well. We've lost them, and I'm sure they'll be reviewing the situation. Not going to come back better when we head into the race later on. But no fears to the top end. It is Bushyants who has gone fastest. Meraki in 2nd after that clutch lap right at the end. Mr. Dale, JE with a great blistering performance. I get the feeling there's some sweating going on here, Badgerman.
There will be lots of sweating going on, that's for sure. But I guess the one thing we found out is that Brazil is not, in fact, the natural habitat of the giraffe, as Hayden Gullis eliminated. El Taco Man, also a bit of a surprise. But honestly, the big surprise to me is Just One Ali. We know he has the pace, and I don't know why he retired, whether he retired from a crash or he was just a bit early. But normally you wouldn't retire on a 108.7, so very surprising, that one. And yeah, he's not going to be happy either with P14. There was a lot more possible here in qualifying for Just One Ali.
Certainly was, but we have got some news from Dan's clipbook. Dan, over to you, sir.
Hello, George. Hello, Badger. So, in terms of what we've had, and we've had a few clips coming in. Thanks very much, everybody who has been submitting it. The first couple that we're going to show here today are all to do with Dirk and how they, sadly, for them at least, went out in Q1. Now, we pick up here with them leaving the pits. Of course, the barriers are right next to you here as you leave. You can see they've still got just shy of 3 minutes left in the session, and then, oh, there you go, you hit the wall. And so that's why Dirk was not able to improve on their final run. They simply could not get around again, get themselves into the pits, new set of tyres, that sort of thing, and away they go again with that damage to the front wing. So that's clip number 1. The second clip, which I'll just copy and paste us in now, is then the reaction of their teammate. To show that, of course, Red Bull is a harmonious environment. So you can see here from Fabio's stream, El Taco Man is 3.4 seconds up on their best time, which at this point doesn't make them faster than Dirk. It's all then in this final sector. They're making up that last bit of time, and across the line they come, and
Fantastic.
There we go. We can see just how much the Red Bull drivers love one another with that sort of reaction there. But yes, that's the bit from me about what ended up happening to Dirk at the end of Q1. Back over to you guys and Q3.
Thank you very much, Daniel Gilligan. I tell you what a fantastic feature, and great to see certainly the 2 Red Bull guys getting along here, Badgerman. That is exactly what we have come to see and come to expect in the Creator Series.
Yeah, certainly between the two Red Bull drivers. I mean,
doesn't happen very often, does it?
It happens quite often between those two. I think yesterday evening I likened their interactions to a certain let's call it an area where you win salt, basically a salt mine.
Salt mine
is what it is. Yeah. So every time one of them beats the other, the one who is being beaten turns into one giant, massive salt mine, and becomes very salty and mad, and yeah, it's very entertaining for us, but I'm a bit worried about the two of them and that kind of dynamic going on. Christian Horner wouldn't approve, I think.
No, I don't think so either. And thank you, everyone, for your kind words with regards to Dan's clipbook as well. We're a big fan of it. I was very excited to debut this feature this week. And Dan, it's great to have him on board, obviously, after a scintillating commentary that he gave us at Abu Dhabi last time out. And we get to hear more from him now as well with his own feature. So that's fantastic. So thank you, everyone, for the kind comments in the live chat too. But yes, we're back underway with Q3. No doubt there'll be more comments to come when we get our, well, certainly our footage from you guys. Keep clipping away. Make sure you supply Dan with lots of material, and he can bring you more content to your eyes and ears. That's for sure. We got Safso out on track, no doubt feeling also full of, well, confidence himself. Obviously, the current Creator Series champion as well, Dirk. Obviously, won it in Season 1. It was a shortened season, but nevertheless, a great feat to win the first championship.
Did you just call me Dirk?
I call you Dirk. I apologise.
No, I
could call you worse things.
Yeah, that would be an upgrade. I'll take it. Where were we? I just heard Dirk and I was like, wait, that's not my name.
No, I tell you what, do you know what? I've spoken to Dirk so many times today. I've got him on the brain. You know, literally, we recorded a feature this afternoon, and all I can hear is Dirk. That's all I can hear. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's fine. But no, going back to Badgerman. Right, we'll start with this. Zaf's obviously filled with confidence after a superb Q2. Winning the championship last year, despite it being a shortened season in Season 1, still an incredible feat to be its first ever champion.
Certainly. I mean, that's the number one goal, is you want to be, if there's a new championship, you want to be the first champion, right? We all still remember the name Alberto Ascari, as he was the first champion of, was he? Or was it Nina Farina? No, it was Nina Farina, right? I think Ascari was the first race winner, and Farina was the first champion.
Farina, I believe, was the first. And I think you're absolutely right. Ascari was the next, and then Fangio came in, I think, after that.
Yep, I'm pretty sure Ascari was the first race winner in Formula 1.
Yes, he was, yeah.
So, yeah, there we go. So, but we all remember both the names, because you want to be the first race winner, and you want to be the first champion. And Safso has achieved that feat. Now, whether he will be able to repeat like Nina Farina did in 50 and 51, we don't know. Currently, it's not looking too great, as we've seen Alex Gillen and Tim Marduk just be too strong. But also, Meraki and GB are currently ahead of Safso in the standings, who is in PE5. However, Safso has this ability, and that's what got him the championship in the first place, of always being in the mix. And I heard a couple of drivers over the last couple of weeks describe the Creator Series as sort of like the Indy 500. It's a very long race, and you just got to stay on the lead lap and sort of in it until the very end. Basically, your track position, your tires, and when the last safety car period happens, that's what determines your final race result, as well, obviously, as your pace. But that's sort of the ingredients to a good result. And Safso always keeps himself in the mix. He's always there. He's always around the top 5. And that's all you need to do. You just need to set yourself up for success, and it's bound to happen. This season, so far, he's had his fair share of bad luck. He's had his fair share of moments where also he actually decided to help his teammate Tiamat Marduk. I think without Safso, who just went P3, Tiamat Marduk would not be the championship leader right now. That's how much... It's the complete opposite of Red Bull, basically. They are actually helping each other.
Can you believe it? Helping each other benefits you. Can you believe it, folks? There you go. Statement of the day. Tom, though, 71 thousandths off P1, despite going fastest in Sector 1 and Sector 3. We've still got currently Bushy Ants on top. Meraki in 10th. No time set yet, but making his way through the final corner. The Archibancardus on the right-hand side as well as he opens up the rear wing very, very shortly. Does so now. Down towards the line here from Jake, also known as Meraki, and as he does so, third fastest. There we go, as that guy Vince immediately steals that off him as well. A hair's breadth between them, near enough 300ths separating them at the top end. Certainly 29 thousandths in total, but enough to give that guy Vince third fastest.
Yeah, very, very good lap from both of them. Again, most likely on used tires right now. Remember, Meraki now should have more softs. More sets of soft tires available than any other driver, because he did use Inters and he used the medium tire in Q1 as well. So he should have an advantage. If that is his lap on new softs, I'm a bit worried for him, but I would assume he's also used softs here for this first run, so that he leaves himself as many new soft tires, unused, fresh ones for the race as possible.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. So still Bushy on top at 108.022 currently to his name. That guy Vince in third. Meraki still in fourth. Tom, though, I'll tell you what, he's still there and thereabouts. Many cars out and about. Alex Budd is actually the sole car on track at this point.
No, he's not. Mr. Dale is actually purple in the first sector and had a decent middle sector as well. That's only, less than a tenth away from the purple middle sector by Bushy Ant. So there is an opportunity here to be had for Mr. Dale to go P1, and he misses out.
Oh, very close.
Just 300ths of a second. 108.033. Just 31 milliseconds behind. But a good P2. The question is, will he make it back to the pits in time? Does he have another set of softs available? There are a bunch of questions right now surrounding Mr. Dale. Is this his best, or can he still improve? I think this might be the end, and he decided to just go against the flow of the qualifying, against everyone else right now. The same with Alex Budd, who is now the only car on a flying lap and has already invalidated. So yeah, that's that's the end of that one. But 8 cars currently in the pit lane, and oh no, my bad. I misread the symbol. There is a wrench showing next, a wrench and a spanner, or a wrench is a spanner, hold on. A wrench and a screwdriver.
It's a wrench and spanner. There we go. A wrench and a screwdriver obviously means there must be some much needed repairs on the car, does it not?
No. That's what I thought at first as well, but no, it means that the pit lane is blocked right now by the teammate.
I thought you were gonna say it's blocked by Dirk Chocolate because GB's taking him into the wall again.
No, not quite. No, in this case, that guy Vince was just leaving the pits, but Alex Budd apparently has enough fuel in the car to be able to do another lap, so the time is still there. Obviously, the tires are now a slight bit more used, which does not help him whatsoever. He might potentially also run into traffic of Bushy Ant right in front. The Mercedes is now entering Ferradura turn 6. And we have Alex Budd just exiting turn 5.
He's fastest as well in the first sector. He's stolen that privilege and is actually running away with it. Let's see what he can put together in the second sector, because this looks like it could be a spicy lap here for Alex Budd. We're coming down now within the final 2 minutes. It's now 1 minute and 45 or so to go. Alex Budd looking to follow up a brilliant 16.772 in that first sector for the AlphaTauri. This would be a blistering result if he can pull this off, and he's not far away from the top time. 9 thousandths as it stands off that pole lap, currently set by Bushy Ants as he now spears through round the Archibancardus. If he crosses the line, can he find it in that third sector? This is the key point now as he heads towards the line. Incoming. Is it looking okay? It's 21 thousandths off the pace. Second fastest though for Alex Budd. A great lap there by the AlphaTauri.
That was close. I thought it was going to be a 107.
It looked good for it. It was good value.
Barely, but not quite. P2 for
We
him
could
right
have-
now, but look at how close it is.
We could have had another Jerez 97 there, Badgerman.
We could have had it again, yeah. Meanwhile, Infratic, is he start? No, he's starting a lap. My own tool's telling me wrong information here. As Dakovic, there we go. Dakovic finally with a 107.892. He beats Bushy Answer's time by just over a tenth.
But Bushy's
of
back.
a second. But Bushy is back exactly. He already gained in the first sector a 10th and a half on Dakovic.
Oh, he's
just
up
there alone.
He's fastest again in the second sector. This is
Oh
looking
my.
absolutely sensational.
Uh-oh.
He's 2.5 up on his previous best. He's 2.5 up on that guy Vince towards the line. This could be a stellar lap here from Bushy Ants as he crosses the line. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a 107.395 from Bushy Ants. It's not purple in the third sector, but he didn't need it. I tell you what, that will send a message. A Merc on top here at Interlagos.
That sends a heck of a message. 107.3. Bushy, you absolute madman. How did you do that? Infratic gonna cross the line. He invalidates.
Goodness
Oh, that
me.
would have been a 107.9. That would have been P4 for the Portuguese driver. And instead he invalidated. And I think he actually invalidated by being too greedy on after the pit entry.
Don't be greedy, folks. That is the summary from that incident. We've got GB68 now heading through the final part of this Interlagos circuit. Currently sat in P9. He's showing improvements in the first and second sector. Where can this take him? Is the Aston Martin going to build? Yes, he is. He's building himself up to fourth fastest. Has gone ahead of that guy Vince, who's now in the pits. And now Meraki crossed the line. Goes second fastest, but no way near the time set by Bushy Ants. 2.5 tenths clear. Incredible. Mr. Dale looking to also write his own story. Fifth fastest there for the Aston Martin. Goes faster than his teammate GB68. What a phenomenal ending to qualifying. No one could touch Bushy Ants though. He was clear by a whole 2.5 tenths of a second. That is incredible, Benjamin.
That is certainly incredible. What a lap from Bushy. I did not expect that to be as quick as it was. Fantastic run there by Bushy Ants. And 2.5 tenths, that is, as you said earlier, that is a statement. Incredible. And certainly makes Bushy the favorite for this race. So Bushy on pole, Meraki second, Safso in P3, setting himself up for success once more. Tom in P4, Mr. Dale and GB68 share the third row on the grid, 5 and 6 for them. That guy Vince P7, Matty D13 P8, Alex Bud P9, and Infratic. It could have been, to be fair, his lap, had he not invalidated, would only have been good enough for P9 anyway. So in the end, it's only one position that he lost from just being a bit greedy there, right at the pit entry, and P10 ultimately for him.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the results. And Bushy Ants is on pole for the upcoming Brazilian Grand Prix race here at the Creator Series. But we have got news from the one and the only. It's Dan's clipbook, and he's got news on the emphatic invalidation, I believe, here, Dan.
I do, and it is absolutely as Badgerman has suggested. So we come up through the last couple of corners then. We've gone through Junsao. We're on the way back up now through the last couple of corners on the circuit here, and then it is just coming over here. There it is, just the tiniest of infractions there for Infratic, and you can see the reaction on their face there. That is... that's about as sad as I've ever seen and shocked I've ever seen a human being at the wheel of a sim rig. That has been a real unfortunate one for them on that one. And you could also see from the timing delta up here in the top right that they were up by 8.5 tenths of a second before that happened. And then they lifted on the run to the line after the invalidation. So could have even been 9 tenths up on their personal best.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was going to break his nose on his wheel there, very nearly taking himself out with his own microphone as well. So very close to a trip to A&E as well. But incredible. Superb analysis there, Daniel. Can he bounce back, though? That's the question.
That is the question. They've certainly had a great deal of pace here today, having put some very good laps in to get themselves into that Q3 session. And then, of course, 9 tenths improvement, that would have put them somewhere in that sort of mid-pack of the top 10. So I would say don't count him out just yet.
Don't count him out, indeed. Thanks again, Daniel Gilligan, there with that beautiful insight on Infratix moment heading down through the final corner. Obviously, a huge amount of pressure, Badgerman, when it comes to putting in a flying lap. But of course, we witnessed Bushy Ants put one together and essentially put himself on pole. It was truly a scintillating performance.
It certainly was. Fantastic lap from Bushy Ants, and again, he's the favorite for this race. But it's all going to come down to strategy. It's all going to come down to, do you pit at the right time? Do you choose the right compound at the right time? And we've seen plenty of different strategies over the last season and a half. The first season, obviously, and so far the second season here as well. That it's going to be interesting to see when do the safety car periods come, because let's be honest, it's guaranteed there's going to be multiple. It's just a question of when, not if. As the drivers are embarking on the formation lap right now. Let's actually check the tires, and my goodness, it's a bit of a rainbow, and I kind of like that. We have the top three, Bushy, Meraki, and Safso on mediums, Tom and Mr. Dale and P4 and P5 going for the softs, GB on hards, Dat Guy Vins, Matty D13, Alex Budd, Infratic, and Swave on mediums, Hayden Gullis on softs, El Taco Man on mediums, just one Ali on hards, Curbs and Dirk Chocolate on mediums, Razin is that in P17, iTomb, that is Razin, on softs, and then the last three, Carbon Shadow, Just Hun, and Liam, all on mediums. So, very varied choices here. And they all have their justifications. Personally, considering that the soft tyre can last up to 20 laps, and how regular we see safety cars, I would have probably gone for softs, but it all depends on whether we do get a safety car in the first 20 laps.
Absolutely. Well, you can see at the bottom right hand of your screen, folks, the creators getting ready to go. Obviously, Tom and Dirk getting themselves ready. And a quick update there from Harry59. If you guys want an update as to how the standings look, they have been updated. So make your way across as well. Don't forget as well to check out our partners, Grid Finder and also Sim Racing Centre to get all the latest updates. Certainly get in touch with the leagues, not to mention find out for, leagues that you want to be part of. That's certainly the place to get it. Grid Finder can help you out. And so make sure you stay tuned to that. Also, Sim Racing Centre can help you out in terms of setups. You can join the Discord over there. Superb partners here at the Creator Series as well. Any predictions, Badgerman, as the drivers now do their customary spins?
It's going to be a mental race. That's my only prediction.
We like mental races. That's what we like. The car's now lining up for the start of this Grand Prix, folks. Sit tight. We're getting ready to go racing. Front end, remember, it is Bushy Ants on top. Plenty to play for. He's got Meraki alongside him, though. Will he make it simple for him? I do not think so. Strap yourselves in, folks. You're going to be in for a hellacious ride here in the Creator Series Brazilian Grand Prix. So 4 lights lit, 5th lights. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 and immediately off the line, Meraki getting a brilliant start, leads the way into the Senna S, is a brilliant start from the Williams. In comes Tom as well, looking to catch out a sleeping Bushy Ants, who hasn't managed to respond, but onto the curb there from Tom, and Safso has cleaned him up as they head down the next straight. Here in the Retta Imposter, Decidia Delago next, and a virtual safety car.
Yep.
Virtual safety car. What's the update there, Badgerman?
Yeah, it's just Hun and Taco near the back of the field came together.
Full safety car.
Yeah, full safety car. Both Taco and Just Hun entirely without a front wing. They came together in the Senna S already, so we lasted all of just about 2 corners until we had our first major incident. But both cars still running, so nothing's lost. They basically now get a free pit stop to put on new front wings. Both Hun and Taco wounded in that incident.
Yeah, well, there we have it, folks. It didn't take long. It came eventually. It's come this time. Just a quick reminder of the tyre situation. Meraki on mediums, Bushy Ants on mediums as well. Safso as well on medium tyres. Tom, Mr. Dale, on softs. We then got that guy Vince, Infratic, and Matty D13 all on mediums. GB68 on hards. Alex Budd on mediums. Hards for Just One Ali. Swave on mediums. Hayden Gullis on softs. Dirk Chocolate on mediums. Liam also, who's just joined the session, so that available car has been taken up. Medium tyres for him. Rasin Chai also on the softs. Also, we've got him coming into the pits as well. A few cars coming in as well here, Badgerman.
Yeah, a couple of cars. I don't know why Razin is joining this group, but by the looks of it, that's also a new front wing. So he must have suffered some damage, not to the same extent as Hun and Taco, but also coming in. And I can actually tell you, at least for just Hun, I actually do have her telemetry, and she actually has turned it on. The other two, Razin and Taco, have not, which is allowed for the drivers. They don't have to turn it on. But Hun has it, and she has no other damage. So at least that is good for her. We don't know whether there is some diffuser, rear wing, floor, or side pod damage to either Razin or El Taco Man. I can go through the field. Oh, no. I just saw Curbs must have been involved in that in some capacity as well.
Oh, Curbs.
He has a damaged front wing, only 5 and 10%, 5 on the left, 10 on the right side. But the major one for Curbs is 50% floor damage. He is absolutely going to struggle throughout this race. 69 laps remaining, and they're not going to be nice for Curbs. 50% floor damage. That is quite severe, and that is certainly not what you want. So, yeah, I wouldn't blame him if he just parks the car, quite frankly.
Yeah, less than ideal. We've had 3 cars come into the pits already then. Softs again for ITOM, obviously that being Rasin Chai. Hun down in 19th place. She's now on mediums again too. The only real change-up is Taco Man. He's gone from the mediums to the hards. So that is a swap, effectively, in terms of strats. So Al Taco Man will be able to take those later into the race. Obviously, no doubt we'll have to stop again. We're still in the early goings of this Brazilian Grand Prix. But nevertheless, under safety car ruling right now here, folks. And we do have an update. We're going to go over to Dan's clipbook because he's got a view on the safety car incident. Dan, over to you.
Hello, hello. Yes, I certainly do. So we've got it from Huns on board. So as we go down towards turn number 1 then, you can see that the Haas driver comes all the way into turn 1. Is a bit conservative initially. Doesn't want to go barreling into the back of all those cars ahead. Their teammates been able to brake late, go around the outside. And so as a result, they're probably going to be looking in their immediate vicinity in front here. But just a little bit further up the road, you can see the Safina there of the Williams rear wing. So just keep an eye on that car there. As then, bam, there's the contact between themselves and I think Hayden Gullis, one of the Mercedes certainly, and then they start to go round. That then forces Tacoman to go round, and then Liam is trying to do some avoiding action, so too is Tom, and that then leaves Hun nowhere to go, straight into the scene of the accident. And so then, if we watch all of that in full speed, you can see just how difficult it was to avoid. Through the Sen S as we go, and then
Daniel,
right
I'm
there.
going to have to interrupt here. We have the safety car restart now.
Not a problem at all.
We'll be back with you later on, Daniel. Thank you for that superb analysis as always. We've got the safety car coming in this lap, folks. And getting ready for the restart now is Meraki. We're currently seeing his rear view view. Certainly at this point, he's already burst clearance, pedal to the metal here for the second time in this Grand Prix now. And Zafso already looking for the big move. We're 3 wide as well, further back. As now we see Mr. Dale move up into P5. Super race start that he's already had. He's 5th place, but we got an instant Badgerman. What's the latest?
Yeah, there's more going on. There's more slowing down. I think just when Ali involved in this one with the hard tires, he was a bit of a sitting duck, and he lost quite a few places there. Now Safso losing out of position on Tom here. So a lot going on this restart. The drivers are not waiting around. They are very impatient right now as Hayden Gullis and Dirk Chocolate are battling. Infratic is battling with Matty D13. It's all kicking off here in the field.
Certainly is. Infratic now starting 10th place, now up into 7th, round the outside now as they make their way through. Matty D13, who is showing all the pace in qualifying. Green flag conditions. What's the latest? Oh, it's just when Ali.
Yeah, he spun on the exit of turn, turn 9, I think is the counting there. And just lost it on traction. There was no contact with any other car, but just completely lost it there on the traction, and around he went thankfully fully off the circuit and onto the grass as we get purple laps coming in left, right, and center. I think Tom keeps this one. But yeah, very unfortunate there for Just One Ale to just be a little bit too eager on the throttle, and that spun him around.
Certainly did. Again, another yellow flag straight to green. Hun now is having more problems, I think, coming together with Alex Budd, as we're now seeing Dirk Chocolate riding on board here with the man as well. You can see him at the bottom right of your screen as he now chases after Racing Chai, who's actually managed to launch himself higher as well. Alex Budd again, this time coming to blows with Al Taco Man as they head down through towards the Ferragura. Very fast right-hander at this point at turn 6 before then heading in towards the next right-hander as well. Again, plenty of very tight corners here coming through the La Raja bends in towards Pinerino, and now stretching it down towards Bico to Parto as well. You can now see Dirk there just clambering onto the inside, looking very venomous indeed. A little miss though, a little mishap as he made his way through, but nonetheless he will be back. But a very orderly start to get things underway. A couple of incidents creeping through Badgerman, but all calm at the moment.
Yeah, certainly all calm, especially at the top. Well, I say that has just changed. We have another yellow flag, this time for El Taco Man in the final corner. And Tom just went past Bushy into P2, and he needs to have a sense of urgency about him, does Tom, because he's on the soft tyres. He needs to get a move on. He needs to clear some of those medium runners and make the most of these tyres, as he still has them with himself right now. So he is pushing, he is moving through the field, and he is going to go for the lead soon, as DRS has just been enabled.
Yeah, DRS now re-enabled, and we got an update as well from Daniel Gilligan concerning Curb's POV. Over to you, Daniel.
Absolutely. So yeah, right back to the start then. We were saying before that the Williams was involved in the incident that then Hun was collected by. And from my viewing of this, Curb's completely innocent here. They go round the outside of a few cars down on the run to turn number 1. Had a great start, especially the second phase of acceleration here. And then just hanging it all the way around the outside, keeping it there, and then pinched to the inside. You can hear from them even there not liking it, and thinking that wasn't sufficient space given, and then side pod damage as well for them, unfortunately. Now, it's up to you. We can go back to you, or we've also got now some POV from Just One Ale after they end up getting some incidents at the restart after the safety car. Up to you, George.
Well, we'll come back to you later on, because we have got a little scrap happening up at the front end, so we'll be right back with you shortly, Daniel, but thank you as ever for that. We've got Meraki coming closer to Tom as well. Tom has actually taken the lead of the race. Bushy Ants now down in third as well. Incredible stuff here at the start now. For those of you who might be a little concerned as to why Tom was down in P17 when he's in the top 3, Tom is actually the name of Racing Chai. He's changed his name on his Steam, hence why I think you might be misreading. That might be showing up actually on the data center, is it not, Badgerman?
No, I have changed it. It shows on the data channel as Racing Chai now. So but I forgot to add Liam in. My bad.
That's all good. No, that's all right. It was only just checking because Don Larkin coming in, just checking why Tom was in P17. No, just an update, folks. That was Racing Chai, so don't panic over that. As we're now seeing the cars, they make their way down the straight. There you can see Safso still in the mix, chasing after Bushy Ants. Again, now we got a little fight further down. That guy Vince also coming closer together with Mr. Dale, who's on the soft tyres and looking to try and prosaically rise up. He needs to get moving on them. Hayden Gullis also coming unstuck at the hands of Swave, who again unseats him. Very similar to what Swave did in qualifying, obviously taking Gullis out of Q2 and now showing all the progress here at this point now, as we're seeing Hayden Gullis back at him here. Outside line into Decidio Delago. Gullis back ahead of him on the soft tyres into the top 10, and now he needs to chase after GB68.
Yeah, once again, the soft tyres need to be used for as long as they are good. As I said, lap 20 with the first safety car that we've had for the first 3 laps. I think you can now extend them to about lap 22, 23 potentially. But that is as far as they will go, and quite frankly, you don't necessarily want them to go that long. I think a safety car around lap 15 would certainly help the soft runners a lot.
Absolutely. Well, Bushy Ants as well coming closer and closer to Meraki, but we've also got Zafso in the mix. I tell you what, the cluster is now starting to form up at the front end. Meraki once again getting closer to Tom. Seems to find it in that first sector, looking pretty solid right now as well. Out of the center S's, down through towards the Retro post, and now they'll open up the DRS again. Of course, Tom not having it because he's leading the race, and here comes now Meraki with another look down the inside and able to make that key move. Mr. Dale, though, showing all kinds of pace. He's just set the fastest first sector of all so far, 17.640. But Daniel, I'm going to send it back to you. You've got an extension on that race start, I believe.
Almost the race start. This is after the safety car came in. So this is when Just One Ali was restarting their race on the hard tyres, having to try and defend from Swave and Hayden Gullis behind on medium and softs respectively. But then just up in front, watch what happens to the AlphaTauri of Alex Budd. They get on the grass, the back end gets very lively. They have to go all the way around them, manage to keep it on the black stuff. And then as they come through the Senna S, you can see then that Liam is sneaking one up the inside. But then somehow Ferrari gets just incredible traction on the run down the Retro Boston, then down towards Sindalago we go. Things then looking relatively calm at this point. Things as though they're all behaving. But then, as we start to make the run back up the hill again, this is when things start to go ever so slightly wrong for them here. So on the run up the hill we go.
Battle for the lead right now. Sorry,
no
battle
worries.
for the lead right now
back,
between
jump on back.
Meraki and Tom. Meraki was actually alongside on the outside into turn one, but couldn't quite pull the move. This time around, though, I think he's going to send it up the inside. He's just there. He's got the overlap. He goes a bit deeper, but Tom doesn't fight it too much. So Meraki now back into the lead of the race. This is where the soft tyres are starting to fall off now a bit, I think.
Yeah, degradation starting to step in, and they're starting to queue up now on Tom as well, because Bushy Ants is starting to get closer too. Obviously, with that overtake, Meraki, with that build of pace, obviously now Bushy Ants will smell blood, and obviously needs to get past Tom, you figure, Badgerman. Obviously, given the fact he doesn't want to be held up, doesn't want to lose the DRS on Meraki, should he get past.
Yeah, certainly, and it's going to make it all the more difficult because you can't really overtake just on pure grip around here. There's no good overtaking opportunity, so you really have to do it with battery, and it doesn't look like Bushy wants to do it right now. And both cars have the DRS off of Meraki, at least for now, as Mr. Dale is now pitting. What is that? Why is he doing that? He has no damage. This looks like a scheduled pit stop, and I don't understand why.
That's interesting. He's taking off the soft tyres, mediums being placed on the car. So first stop has been pulled. Very interesting. Maybe he knows something we don't. He was actually the fastest man in that first sector. I did say earlier on, of course, maybe a lap before, but opting for that early stop already. We're only on lap 11 of 71. That is a very early call, Badgerman.
It certainly is. He could have easily extended for a good 6-7 laps at this point, easily. Even then, a little less easy. He could have gone for 10 more laps. So for him to pit this early, maybe he just wanted to get out of traffic, wanted to get, into some clean air. That certainly is a consideration to make when you're on the soft tire right now. But at the same time, I think he was on the DRS train, and that certainly helps. You want to be in the DRS train here around Brazil, as that, quite frankly, helps a lot with pace. As we have, for some reason, a yellow flag keeps popping up around El Taco Man, and I don't really understand why. I think he may have... No, he doesn't have any visible damage, but he might have some damage that is not easy to see. In fact, we have someone in the chat saying Taco is ruined, so he might have some severe damage there. And people are asking, are the track limits on strict or regular? They are on strict.
Absolutely. Certainly you will get penalised. We've seen it time and time again in the Creator Series where penalties have been awarded. Obviously, we saw Hun as well get a penalty when she came into the pit lane. I think she might have actually served it during her stop.
Nope.
So she hasn't. She's still got it to her name. Well, there we go. 5 seconds still to her name right now. So that's obviously going to be added to her time come the end of the race. As we're now seeing the cars make their way through. Tom still sat in second, but she adds right behind him here. Sasso as well in the mix. Meraki has now actually broken. In accordance to the delta on screen, he's just about inside the 1 second. It is starting to, though, creep outwards. Tom is starting to lose ground. So this will provide an opportunity for Bushy Ants, should he get close enough, essentially use the DRS should Tom lose it, as we're now seeing Matty D13 now alongside that of Infratic. Infratic has to bow out, can't make the move, as now inside goes Matty D13 into the center S's, and P6 goes to him.
Yeah, and we have some more information on Taco. Apparently he has orange side pod and rear wing damage. Just to give an idea, the 50% floor damage that I talked about with curbs, that's yellow. So orange means it's even worse than that. It should be around 70% damage to both the side pods and the rear wing. That is so severe that he is just absolutely struggling right now, and the balance of the car is completely ruined with the rear wing damage. The only way for him to somehow salvage that would be probably by lowering the front wing by about 6 or 7 clicks, which is quite a heavy difference there, as Tom is holding on for dear life within that DRS, but he's still there. His problem is that when the restart happened, he immediately ruined himself in terms of the ERS. He used so much battery to get into the lead that he was left with absolutely nothing. His battery is constantly empty. If Meraki's is also empty. And Bushy, this is how Bushy is doing right now. He's on 85% battery. He's just chilling. He has no issue whatsoever.
He's just strolling.
Super patient.
He's just strolling right now, and I tell you what, he's not far away from that rear of Tom, and Tom is consistently flashing, as is Meraki on the back of his car. So Bushiance must be licking his lips at the prospect of this one, because if he can get himself past Tom, he'll then look to challenge on Meraki. Green flag again. Is that Matty D13 losing out there? Oh, a yellow flag in sector 2. Matty having a moment, and he's losing ground all the time. Has yet to recover. P13 is now where he sits.
Yeah, seems to be no damage though. Avoided the wall and any other car as well, so at least he's got that going for him. You can always win back the time with the safety car or two, and as we've seen in the first lap,
here we
there
go.
is definitely
we got a move here already. Bushiance already now starting to pull the plug on Tom in second place. He's taking it away from him. Tom's tyres starting to die. Meraki now leading the charge and has actually broken DRS on the 2 behind him as well. It's now all on Bushiance to utilise the energy. Oh, he's kept it. He's managed to keep it right at the end, just before the line. He'll open it up now this time through towards turn 4. Meraki now with the lead. Bushiance moving up to second. Tom now at the mercy of Safso in 4th place.
That was incredible by Bushy. He used the DRS of Tom. He used exactly the right amount of ERS. Not too much, not too little, and had a fantastic turn 1 to stay within the DRS of Meraki. That was pitch perfect right there from the pole sitter, from the Mercedes driver, and from last week's race winner, Bushiance.
Now we're currently watching Tom at the bottom right of your screen. As you can see there, Safso riding all over his rear wing. And Tom now, no doubt, feeling the pressure. The alarm bells must be ringing. When do I decide to pit? When do I choose to jump onto the next compounded tyre? These are the kind of things that he's going to be thinking of. Perhaps even asking his chat, what the flip he must be thinking as they head through towards the final corner. And he is coming in. In comes Tom for his first stop.
Yeah, that makes sense now. You can see the soft tyres are starting to fall off more and more. So now is a very good time to come in and get rid of them. He is going on to mediums. That would have been my choice as well. This is the kind of strategy that you run when you expect no safety cars, and we only had one on lap 1 really. So he is going to exit right behind Carbon Shadow, it seems, and ahead of Mr. Dale, and that might be crucial.
Well, we have an update coming in, obviously, from Daniel Gilligan, and I think we've got a view on Meraki taking the lead from Tom, if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely not mistaken at all. We've got this one here from lap number 9 then. So a few laps ago at this stage, and you can see then that Tom starts to go defensive very early indeed. Now, Meraki can't quite follow him because Bushiance is there up there inside, but then with Tom still a bit in the middle of the road, this is a bit more what I would sort of term a Fernando Alonso style setup for an overtake here from Meraki. They force the other driver to take not the ideal racing line. That gets them all upset and offline, not carrying as much speed down the Cinedago. And then, as you can see, DRS open and not even have to touch the battery button at all. And up the inside they go. Lead taken.
Very, very clean move indeed. Thank you for that. Great insight again from Dan's clipboard, everybody. And we're back live with the action here on lap 17 of 71. As we're now seeing Meraki still lead the way. Bushiance in second. For the back, Safso in third as well. That guy Vince now taking helm in 4th place. ahead of Infratic, who is now 2.4 seconds behind. No doubt now these packs starting to split off into different groups, as we often see, given the fact that they're all on different strategies. GB68 having a modest race as well here, Badgerman, 6th fastest right now.
Yeah, 6th fastest, but also on the hard tyre. And of course, you will fall back through the first couple of laps on the hard tyre, but they're starting to come of age. They're starting to get better and better and better throughout this race. He's struggling a little bit there with Infratic right in front of him. I think GB might fancy a move here. He looks a little bit irritated, quite frankly, by the Red Bull in front. They both missed the apex in Bico de Pato just a second ago, and I think he might be preparing for a move here. Not yet, or maybe he's got the DRS open, and is he going to go for it, or is he going to lift? No, he's going to go for it. Up the inside, might actually want to let Infratic give him DRS. That is perfect right there. Yellow flag.
Oh,
that is
that Tacoman with a penalty? It is.
That is Tacoman with a penalty. But also GB68 passed Infratic.
And
Bushy went for the lead on Meraki. It's all kicking off at the same time here. And GB now expect him to hunt down the top 3 as they continue battling. And that guy, Vince, was the one who caused the yellow flag as he fell down to P9 right there. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a little bit later on in Dan's clipbook, we're probably going to see a clip from that guy Vince and what happened there. I would assume, I didn't see it, I would assume this has all the markings of just a little bit too eager on the throttle and spitting out of turn 4.
Yeah, I think it might be, certainly. And Bushianso taking the lead of the race on lap 18 of 71. Now 8.5 tenths clear of Meraki as things stand. His pace, his outright pace, seems to be on point here. Tom, though, on his fresh set of tyres, setting the fastest lap of the race. Currently sat 15th fastest, 15th place in our classification, just behind Just One Ali, and closing. In fact, obviously, Just One Ali on the hard tyres is only 7.5 tenths or so away, as now Meraki looks to come back here, as we're seeing from the rear view, as he looks to plumb for a move, not this time through turn 4, but still giving Bushianta a headache, despite the overtake earlier on.
Yeah, and the more they battle, the more GB is going to lick his lips to get to them. And as time goes on, the advantage for GB is only going to increase. Right now, it's pretty equal in terms of pace between those 18-lap-old mediums and the 18-lap-old hards. But that is about to shift. Meanwhile, Tom with another fastest lap, 111.2 now. Not just that, he's also on the back of Just One Ali, and he is a second a lap faster than the Ferrari on the hard tyres in P14.
Yep, certainly is right now. We're just watching the cars make their way through this next left, and Sasso losing, I think, just a little bit of time there. I think maybe a slight mistake heading through sector 3, as now we're seeing Bushiant lead them down through towards turn 1. Obviously, he has no DRS, so Meraki making the most of it here, staying on the rear of Bushiant's car, as the Mercedes in front, and the Mercedes-powered Williams makes its way through. Safso in the mix as well. Into the pits comes Rasin Chai and Hayden Gullis as well, as the lead drivers now make their way down towards Decidia Delago, out of the Retro Poster. Now, Swave has moved up into the top 10, just behind Matty. Dirk Chocolate up into 8th. 2 Red Bulls in the top 10. I think they'll take solace in that, Badgerman.
I think they do, but obviously some drivers have pitted, others have not, and it's still 51 laps to go, so anything can change. But right now, they're probably liking where they are, especially Dirk, after that Q1 exit starting P16. He is now up to 8th, but the biggest winner is actually Liam in P6. He started dead last. He didn't even participate in qualifying. And look at him now, right on the back of GB68 and Infratic in P6. Incredible start from him so far this race, and made up a bunch of places on merit.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Now, we do have some news from Daniel Gilligan, I believe. Daniel, got some news for us?
I do, yeah. There's a few laps ago now, lap 14, but we saw an incident between, well, not between anybody, an incident all on their own for Matty, unfortunately, just ahead of Infratic here, and you can see then that what ends up happening is just a classic case of a bit too far over to the left-hand side as we come through the right-hander here, and then a bit too eager on the throttle, just then starting to get a wee bit out of shape, and then all the way around there. unfortunately for them.
Heartbreaking stuff, certainly, for Matty. Not ideal at all. He's got to try and revise his approach, but GB68 now instantly as we return to the action, coming side by side with Infratic through turn 4 at the Ferragura. Naturally, though, he is on the hard tyres. That won't concern Infratic, though, who is trying to prosectically rise on the mediums. Can't quite make the move on him. GB68 holding on to 4th place, Badgerman.
Yeah, the battling certainly does not help them right now. I think... Oh, they come together! And Liam goes through the middle of them! Oh no, this is the worst case scenario for Infratic and GB. Infratic gives the Aston Martin a slight tap to the rear. That's enough to unsettle the car. GB goes around. If we had stewards, which we don't, that I think could very well be a penalty for Infratic, but I think he's going to be a bit apologetic after the race about it. I certainly hope. As GB now losing a position with that guy Vince as well. Thankfully, though, for GB, no damage to his car. For Infratic, I can't speak to that. He does not have his telemetry enabled.
No, well, there we are. Not ideal at all. Tom also making some very good places as well. He's up to 11th, just passing Alex Budd out of the Center S. Is still with the fastest lap of the race. And this could be revitalization time for Tom, who has been in these positions where he's at the front, Badgerman, but incidents have got in the way.
Certainly, yeah. For Tom, he's had so much bad luck. There's still 50 laps. I really, really don't want to jinx him, because the amount of heartbreak that Tom has gone through so far in the Creator Series is too much for any one person. So I wish no more upon him. I hope this time it goes well, but you know the commentator's curse as well as I do, George. It can happen quite easily. But right now he's moving through the field quite well. He's got Swave up next, and Swave without any DRS to defend. So this should be an easy one for Tom as he burns some of his energy, goes the long way around, but that should be a clear overtake, and it is indeed, as he is flashing. But still, the tyre advantage of 15 laps is certainly going to help him here.
Certainly is. Infratic not done either. Has managed to move his way up into 4th place, recovering and coming back at Liam, who is certainly not done yet either. They head down towards the Ferragura. Of course, Liam caught them unawares when GB and Infratic came together a couple of laps or so ago. But now Infratic having the last laugh, and the Red Bull further back also. GB68 trying to get himself back into the fight, but look who's come to join them. It's Dirk Chocolate, everybody. He's back, and he's there, ready to try and snatch that the hopes and dreams of GB68 away. Do you remember the last time these two came together, Badgerman?
You called me Dirk again.
I clearly did, but I corrected it.
There we go. I actually don't remember the last time these two came together, quite frankly.
I was alluding to that pit lane disaster, to be honest, but, you know.
Oh no! Yeah, I do remember. Oh no! That was secondhand PTSD that I got from that. That's why I sort of I sort of placed it in a folder very far away. But now that you mentioned, yeah. Oh no! But I do think Dirk is actually looking at a different car in that group in front of him, and that's the car leading the group. That's Infratic. That's who he has his eyes set on. We know the rivalry between the two. We know how they get along. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there's a lot of rivalry there. Let's just keep it there. I'm pretty sure he's got his eyes set on Infratic. As meanwhile, the mediums are starting to get to the end of their lifespan. We are 24 laps, almost the whole 24 laps into the race. In competitive performance, they're not going to go longer than about 32, 33, considering the first safety car that we had. So any safety car in the next 10 laps, all those medium runners, they're going to gladly take it.
Yeah, they certainly will, and they'll box under it. Essentially a free pit stop at that point. Of course, if we don't get the safety car, then effectively GB takes the lead of the race at this point. But we'll have to wait and see what pans out. Obviously, anything happens in the Creator Series. We've seen safety cars, and in comes Matty. Literally, as soon as you say it, Badgerman.
Yeah, a bit early. I would have been a bit more patient if I was him. Just told him, just stay out there. It's fine. It's okay. Just stay with the rest. But he's going for another set of mediums, and we have a yellow flag. and that is for Alex Bud, and he is turned around. That might be a safety car. Oh, do the other cars see him? Oh, it got very close there between Razin, Hayden Gullis, and Alex Bud.
He's parked.
He's parked on the curb. Can he get off it? He can get off it. And somehow, now comes Carbon Shadow around. He's on the grass. Oh, that was so close. I think for Hayden Gullis and Razin, I think the technical term for that is code brown.
It's definitely up there. What shade of brown, we cannot really say, folks. But nevertheless, he is back out on the track. Alex Bird with a bit of a moment heading through. We've got an update, actually, from our one and only. It's going to be Dan's clipbook. Dan, what's the update?
So just going back to this battle that was going on a bit earlier on between GB and Fabio. If I just load this one up instead here. So you can see then down towards turn number 1, and I love watching any clips from GB with this green screen setup they've got for their wheel here. But as they go through turns 1, 2, and 3, then on the run down, you can hear them saying they don't want to fight Fabio. They're thinking that's going to lose them too much time. But they decide to fight anyway. They go to the inside. They then get left all the space in the world by Fabio, either intentionally or perhaps unintentionally, from the Red Bull driver, get back up the inside, then the run up the hill. Fabio's then not done with them. They've then tried to get round the outside there, as we saw off board, and then through the right-hander here. Great line taken from GB to then make sure they cut off the angle of attack there, but then it's just through the next couple of corners here, then getting onto the power in the right-hander that we're coming up to in the next couple of corners here. This is then where it all then just goes a little bit wrong for them. And there it goes. Either
yellow
a bit
flag.
too eager on power, or
Dirk. Sorry, yellow flag. Dirk is stationary on the track right now. That is just before Jung Sao. He has spun through the left-hander right before at the end of the second sector, and he is going again now, but that was a scary moment there for Dirk, and that could have ended a lot more badly than it did.
Well, he's managed to recover, and we will resume. Dan, back to you.
Back to me. Yeah, not too much other than that, really, for these two. We do have one other clip as well from when we had a change in the lead here. So we can see then all the way back in lap 18, we had Meraki versus Bushy, and then it was a fairly simple move in the end here, with the Mercedes just getting the DRS open, sending it up the inside. Bit more of a protracted fight between these two than we saw when Meraki took the lead earlier on. But there we go then. Things are moving on as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the insight again. Daniel Gill again. We've just seen as well a move for P13. Rasin Chai getting ahead of Hayden Gullis as well. You're getting all the coverage here at the Creator Series, folks. How brilliant is this? GB68 also now starting to gain on Tom in behind. Green flag conditions again as the flags light up. But nothing to be concerned, or is it Safso? Safso in the pits, so yet another medium runner coming in. More and more cars making their way through, and the longer this carries on, obviously this allows GB to essentially machete his way through the field. And yes, he will drop through as well. But just look at this collective of cars we have currently being led by Infratic. He's got a bit of a train forming in behind him, that being also Liam, that guy Vince. GB68 Tom is also around 5 seconds in behind those as well, looking to gain. Safso just coming through the pit exit now with Mr. Dale coming up behind him.
Yeah, and Safso needs to stay ahead here, and he's not going to be able to do it. And look at Mr. Dale flashing, and on much older tyres. We're talking 17 laps. Yes, for Safso, the tyres right now are not up to temperature, so he gets about half the lap to warm them up, but then he is going to be significantly faster than that Aston Martin in front. He needs to get past, and he needs to get past quickly. Apologies. It's all kicking off. But he needs to get past quickly here. That is crucial in this moment. The yellow flags, just ignore them. That is for the retired Alex Budd, whose car has spilled back out onto the track and is now pulling off and will disappear any second now. Oh, he's way off the track there, and he is gone. Wonderful. Yep. We're back to green. Nothing happened there, but here we go. Safso, he needs to have a sense of urgency about him here to get past Mr. Dale. Otherwise, he's going to be held up so much behind that Aston Martin on now older tyres. 17 laps the difference. Is Safso going to send it? Is he going to have the awareness? Yeah, he has. He's sitting on the battery. He's sending it. Oh, look at the difference in speed. That's Red Bull DRS right there in 2023.
Wonderful move there from Zafso, of course, last season's champion, past Mr. Dale, and now well and truly up into the top 10. Mr. Dale currently nursing tyres that have accrued over 18 laps of wear, and he's now looking to try and recover. Alex Budd, we got some news on him. My car is scrap after that contact. Floor, 78% damage, side pods and wings as well, hence why he has now decided to opt out of the race. What's the update, Badgerman?
Meraki in the pits, the leaders have split up. Bushy stayed out, Meraki is in. The undercut from the Williams, but is it going to work? I think he's going to rejoin about a second behind Tom in P7. As 2, 3, 4, and 5 all go through at the same time. They are one big giant group. And there goes Tom. Safso meanwhile goes purple, as he should on those new tires. Here comes Meraki ahead of just one alley and behind Tom. Actually, it's a bit more than a second. It's about 3 seconds almost. Is he ahead of just one alley? He's just ahead, and that is crucial. He's going to lose a bit of time on tire warm-up, so this might be the opportunity for Bushy to overcut by a lap. But he's not using enough battery to make sure that he can. It's going to be interesting to see if Bushy comes in right now or not. I think the tire wear calls for it. Lap 30.
Well, Liam now just getting past Infratic. It's been coming, but Infratic coming straight back at him as well. He will have DRS when they lead Junsao 2. Only a matter of corners still to go. There's a huge train here fighting over that second place. Bushy Ant's in the pits as well. So this will lead to Liam effectively leading the cars around on another lap, unless he decides to pit in this time. Doesn't do it. Bushy Ants, though, in the pits, and I think he's going to be joined as well, because that guy Vince also coming in, but Infratic now going for the lead of the race here on lap 31. Still side by side, Liam defending brilliantly as they exit out of the center S's. They got the long straight down the Retro Aposta. Big chance now for Infratic again. Gets in the rear wing, opens up the DRS, side by side into turn 4, into the City of Delago. It's Fabio, it's Infratic in front, goes wide though at turn 4. Potentially opens up the door for Liam here again as they head down through towards the Ferradura. Again looking on the outside. The house far from done. GB68 with the best view in the house here of these two gallivanting out to the front. And no, it can't be Liam. He can't get through. It's Infratic in front. And look at that, a penalty. 10 seconds for El Taco Man, Badgerman.
Yeah, that was very unfair to El Taco Man. He actually went off the circuit, went very, very wide through 4 and 5, then rejoined and got a 10 second for no apparent reason. That is about the most unfair penalty I've ever seen. He lost about 20 seconds being off the circuit there, letting other cars through and being lapped. And then the game decides to further punish him with a 10-second time penalty. Don't really understand it. I think Michael Massey in charge once again.
Well, careful what you say there, Badger. But nevertheless, we're now watching the cars make their way out to the center S's. Liam once again riding that rear wing on Infratic's car. Didn't go for the move down towards the center S's because he wanted the DRS here at turn 4. Infratic knows it and goes defensive here as we look at a sky view of the two battling it out. Heading out now towards the Ferradura. Have a look at this. Through this next right-hander again. You can see more cars starting to catch up with the leading 3. Tom also on his strategy, 4th place and gaining with all this fighting between Infratic and Liam. It could give Tom the leap he needs to get to the top very early on, and instead Liam though with a brilliant bold move down the inside has done it and got past Infratic. What a dazzling display between two brilliant drivers. Liam now leads, but for how long? Because Tom on fresh tyres has been rapid quick in recent laps.
Yeah, the tyres are not so fresh anymore though, 16 laps in them already. But he is still quicker than all the cars around, at least the cars ahead of him. And there goes Infratic to pit. Finally, Liam still staying out. I think that is the story of the first half of the race so far. Liam doing 32 laps and now 33 when he finishes this one on the medium tyre. That is a daring move, but it might just pay off. And Tom doesn't have much to attack here because he didn't save any ERS. He caught up quickly, and he is ahead of Bushy and Meraki. So the 14-15 lap undercut work. Has GB round the outside of the horseshoe? Is that going to work? Surely not. Oh, he's still got his nose in there. Oh, they're still side by side now through Pineirinho. And they're still going side by side. Tom is not going to like that because he can't find a way through. The switchback doesn't quite work. A touch, a tap. Liam sideways,
goodness me!
sideways. And
Look at this, it's Tom!
Both.
It's Tom! Tom's done it! Look at that! What a move from Tom, the Alpine ambassador! You can see his reaction on the right-hand side. How about that, folks? And there's a cluster as well further back as we rejoin the action. An incredible overtake. He primed his point, picked his spot. GB68 also in trouble because here comes Meraki now as they head in towards the center S's. Still they prosaically battle through. The Williams down the inside leading out through the first few corners. It is Meraki up to fourth, and here comes Zafso as well.
Incredible from Tom. Bushy going through. Meraki and Zafso past GB. Again, it's all kicking off right now. Liam falling down the order a bit more. This is where he has to start thinking about pitting. But as long as he can stay in this group, he isn't necessarily in a rush, quite honestly. Right now, if he pits, he's going to be behind the Razin, Matty, Hayden Gullis, that guy Vince, Dirk Chocolate, Infratic group. That's 6 cars. You don't want to be stuck behind that big of a group. So I understand why Liam stays out, but he needs to stay within DRS to make sure that he can potentially increase his gap to those 6 drivers and not lose out more time.
Here we go, here comes Bushy though. Bushy now going for the lead of the race. Tom and Bushy coming together here on lap 34, side by side again as they head down through towards turn 1. Meraki also up into third as well. They switch up at the top end. Zafso getting ahead of Liam too for that 4th place. Amazing scenes. Liam losing out 2 places, but Bushy Ants takes the lead here in Brazil. His pace is eclectic. It's absolutely finesse. Tom in second with 3 seconds of time penalties. Insanity here at Interlagos.
Yeah, lots of insanity indeed. Bushy Ants into the lead. Tom with a 3-second time penalty. All things are going on right now. Meraki and Zafso past Liam, who is struggling already to keep up with them. And we will see if he can stay within 1 second of Zafso ahead. He needs to, otherwise he should pit, quite frankly, because I don't see a safety car coming anytime soon. We've had so many spins over the last 32 laps, ever since the first safety car and only safety car restart so far, that right now it doesn't look like there's going to be another safety car. And I don't think Liam got the DRS, so wouldn't be surprised if he pulls into the pits. No, he stays out. This is risky right now. This is
Meraki as well.
The strategy.
Meraki as well moving up into second, managing to jump Tom, heading through towards the center S. Is super move indeed. And now Tom feeling the sting now, feeling the pinch. And now Zafso is on his tail. Tom, after making that audacious move earlier on, I mean, that was incredible. That was opportunistic, Badgerman.
It certainly was. That was beautiful. He set it up well. He was just waiting for that mistake, took a wider line, made sure that he gave himself options, and when he needed those options, he was able to use them. As Dirk Chocolate now finally into the pits for his first pit stop. Onto softs he goes, and will rejoin behind just Hun and Carbon Shadow in P16. But the soft tires should give him quite a good middle stint here before I would assume he goes back to another set of mediums to the end, which I find a very, very helpful strategy in this kind of race. Meanwhile, the hard size, just Ranale, GB68, they are very interesting right now. Let's just call it that. They can still go another 20 laps from here, which is quite mental to say the least. You could go hard to soft. It's not a quick strategy, but it's possible. If there's a safety car at the right time, certainly works. Just Han, meanwhile, causing a yellow flag in the middle sector. But yeah, so just Ranale and GB68, they can go another 20 laps on these tires. Really competitively, I would say about 5 to 10 before they start dropping off. But before you get puncture territory, no, we're talking 20 laps right now.
Well, do you know what I want, Badgerman? Do you know what I think it's time for? I think it's time for Dan's clipbook, because he has got analysis on the Tom P1 overtake. Tom, over to you.
Tom, over to you. Oh,
Not Tom.
crikey.
Well, over to Tom. Over to Tom's overtake. But over to you, Daniel.
Excellent, very good. So, yeah, going through it then, we can see this is the end of the second sector here, taking this right-hander, this is where it is. Initially a move where maybe they'd gone a bit too deep into the corner, but then it worked beautifully all the way around the outside, and then up the inside on the run to Jun Sao. I'm just going to rewind it a brief moment so you can hear the reaction from inside the cockpit. And that's really the sort of soundtrack I think that we should all wake up to in the morning. That's the sort of the noise that I would certainly like to do. But there we are. Tom up into P1 with that move. Back over to you, Jack.
Thank you very much, Daniel Gilligan. Obviously, great analysis as always. Obviously, reviewing the move there from Tom the Bomb. Certainly not a bomb on that occasion. Tom looking for the opportunistic lines, pulling it off as well. Spectacular overtake and picked his spot and primed it to the nines, that's for sure. Safso, who's currently holding on to fourth place, has actually held that position. So he's still got a bit of work to do because he has lost ground to Tom in third place though, Badgerman.
Yeah, he has dropped to third place. I think it's the slightly older tyres. Again, 15 laps on Bushy, 14 on Meraki, that he has older tyres and he just can't quite go the pace, especially that Bushy has right now. Meraki, he can sort of stay within DRS just about, but the rest towards Bushy, it's just impossible. But I want to draw attention to two other points. The first one is one that has just been made in the chat by Poochie Head. The scenes if we have no more safety cars and half the grid ran out of fuel. Yes, this is something that we see very often here in the Creator Series. Drivers tend to underfuel the car quite drastically. We're talking 4, 5, 6 laps underfueled. It's the norm here because of all the safety cars that we are expecting. And the second point that I'm trying to make, and this is a compliment towards all the drivers, really, pretty much all the drivers, is the lack of penalties today. We only have 3 drivers on penalties today. That is Tom on 3 seconds, Hun on 6, and Taco on 13, of which 10 are completely unjustified. So let's be honest here, El Taco Man on 3. Those 10 seconds, they will be removed. We do not necessarily have stewards, but we now, this is the first time, by the way, we now have penalty removal if you've been given an unfair penalty and can prove it. And I think El Tacoman can definitely prove that. So, yeah, only 3 drivers on penalties. And in fact, we have, let me count this real quick, 8 drivers completely warningless. They did not get a single warning, of which Meraki, Safso, Justwanali, Liam, and GB68, and Razin Chai all in the top 10 with no warning. So the drivers are very, very well behaved, especially considering what we normally see in the Creator Series.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed, and it provides us with non-stop action certainly here. It's fantastic to see certainly many of the drivers opting for various different stints. Already we're seeing a plethora of different tyres out on the track. A few on soft tyres further down, as we now see Carbon Shadow moving ahead of Curbs into 16th place, and a wonderful move that is too. And he'll look to now gun after Swave in 15th. GB68 also getting closer and closer behind Liam. Now this is a battle that's been brewing for quite some time, and GB on the hard tyres has still not boxed, and neither, according to my data, has Liam in 6th there, Badgerman.
Yep, that is correct. Liam in 6th is still on his old mediums. 39, they are screaming at this point. He is just waiting for a safety car. He does not want to pit, but he has to at some point. GB now going through. Those medium tyres are done, quite frankly. They are getting towards puncture territory at this point. They should be at 60, 65%. 70 is when you start getting into the danger of a puncture on any tyre that is at that point. As we have a yellow flag, I think that's just going for that's just coming for Attackman going slightly slowly. That didn't even warrant a yellow flag. Once again, just the FIA doing El Tacoman dirty here. But yeah, he is a lap down now. I think he's 2 laps down. Curbs and just Hun 1 lap down, 1 safety car, and that can all change though. As we know, the drivers are letting lapped cars through, generally speaking, by going off the track themselves. But yeah, regarding the hard runners, just one Ali and GB68, their plan is, I think, a 1-stop. they want to switch on to mediums quite soon, really. I mean, this is the pit window to do it. And in fact, there is just one Ali coming in. GB stays out, but there is one of them. Just one Ali going to go for mediums. He can go to the end from here. That is a one-stop that is absolutely possible.
And we know how quick he is as well. Just when Ali, fully capable of getting race wins, has also been unfortunate in terms of incidents on the track. He did DNF when we went racing at Spa previously, and has a lot of potential as a driver as well. Comes out in behind Infratic, who's currently 3/10, but that'll soon grow in front of him. Dirk Chocolate also in behind him too. He's going to be quite close in the mix too when he comes out. Obviously Infratic making some big moves as well. Gets ahead of Hayden Gullis for that 11th place. So Infratic, I tell you what, he's really impressed me tonight.
I'll withhold a bit of judgment for now, but he has just pitted onto mediums 9 laps ago, so he's a bit lower than, you know, what his net position is, I would say. And yeah, he's ahead of just one Ali by about 3.5 seconds. And the question is, will he make it to the end on those tires? I think the possibility is there. He may have to nurse them a little bit, but if he is capable of taking those tires to the end, and there's no more safety cars somehow, which would really be a Creator Series first, I think that would have been the longest, the highest amount of laps that we've ever gone without a safety car, which would be 68. It came in at the end of lap 3. So let's not count, you know, let's not count the chickens before they've hatched, but it looks like we've already gone 40 laps without a safety car. Why not 68? Certainly possible. And Infratic would be in a very good position if that were to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Time will only tell, though, as to where it will end up towards the end of this race. There, of course, is the battle going on here between that guy Vincent and Infratic, who's getting closer in behind. There you can see ahead of them Racing Chai, Tom's teammates here at the Brazilian Grand Prix in the F1 Creator Series. A little bit of a moment there for the Mercedes of Hayden Gullis, who has to correct the steering wheel, just give it a little twist, find that traction before they then make their way up towards Junsao corner now. They'll head out back onto the power as they come through the grandstand section, through past the Archibancadas. Mr. Dale now moving past Liam, who now pits finally off those medium tyres. 42 laps on those
43.
mediums. Or 43 now, yes.
43 even.
Yeah.
Incredible, but also not the smartest choice. What's he going for? What? Mediums again. What? Huh? Someone in the chat, someone watching right now, can you please go over, I don't know, does Liam stream?
Oh,
I think he
Infratic.
does.
Great move.
Can someone go over and tell him he needs to use 2 different compounds? I don't think he got the memo.
Well, maybe he's going to softs later on. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously,
Yeah,
you'll have to.
that makes no sense.
No, I know it doesn't. But at the end of the day, this is the Creator Series.
True.
Infratic getting past that guy Vince into turn 4. Fantastic move from Infratic, moving onwards and upwards. And could be the signs of another top 10.
Oh, just one Ali going past that guy Vince. I'm not sure about this kind of move. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so he had a look up the inside. Is Mr. Dale now pitting? That can be for hards, and he could go to the end because he started on soft earlier on. Let's not forget. So he already had his 2 different compounds, so it's going to be hards for Mr. Dale, mediums for Mr. Dale to the end, and fresh mediums at that. But just when Ali went up the inside, had a little look up the inside of that guy Vince, brake later. And that gave him the opportunity. Vince was a bit scared. It actually opened the steering because he thought he was going to get dive bombed there by just one Ali. And then once Vince opened the steering, Ali was like, I mean, if you open the door for me, I might as well step through. And he took the position. Now he's past Infratic as well. Leaves 1 car ahead of him on those brand new medium tires to get through. And that is Razin to be overtaken by just one Ali, and then it's Clean Air hunting down Matty D13. Remember, GB68 yet to pit, so a net P5 at the very least on the card for just one Ali. Potentially looking at the gap to Tom even a P4, as Tom is guaranteed to pit again. And the gap right now is 21.5, about 22 seconds. The pit loss here is 20.5 to 21. So it's very close there. There's a possibility for Tom to jump. For just Manale to jump Tom. And it's looking ever more likely.
Well, Hunt just getting 5 seconds, just to an alley moving now further up the field. 7th fastest, 7th place in the classification, and the fastest lap to boot so far as well. He is doing an impeccable job here on this stint. We're now seeing them come together again further back. Infratic showing a great deal of pace here at Interlagos, getting closer this time to Racing Chai. But 3 seconds now going into Infratic's name, breaching track limits this time, Badgerman.
Yep, that's what tends to happen when you have 2 warnings and you're not careful enough. The 3rd warning will give you a 3-second time penalty. There's my Will Buxton moment of the day for you.
I can't wait till the next meme compilation.
Yep, same. I love watching them. They are fantastic. But yeah, Infratic now with a penalty. 4th driver on the grid to have a penalty. We have a yellow flag, but it's green again. Lots of yellow flags that are just happening like quickly and shortly, and then they disappear again. I think a lot of those... Oh, as Infratic almost loses it there. That guy Vince slipping through. Oh, that was a moment on the exit of turn 2 there. Just a little bit too much on the throttle, and the rear stepped out drastically for Infratic there. But yeah, everyone has pitted except for GB68, and everyone has used 2 compounds except for Bushy Ant, Meraki, Safzo, Matty D13, that guy Vince, Infratic, Liam. Those are the drivers that are guaranteed to pit again. But Liam really was the one that confused me the most, because he went so long on mediums that at that point you're probably just better off pitting for hards and then just going to the end.
I'm wondering here. The top 2, do they make the decision to go on to softs? Do they take this middle medium stint as long as they can? Because they've either got to go hards or softs, right? No doubt they're going to
softs for sure.
Yeah, they've got to, surely. Tom now, he's already used up obviously a soft compounded tyres and mediums. He's no doubt going to be considering a pit soon as well to get off the 32 lap medium tyres. Does he then plumb for the medium tyres again?
He should. He started on softs. He's been on the mediums for 32 laps now. I think actually as Infratic goes for the move on that guy, Vince for P9 up the inside, and that is as easy as you like. So Infratic gaining another position there. Should be hunting down Razin in P8 right now. But yeah, I think Tom, normally you try to split your stints on the same tyre to roughly equal length, because that means you get the best of both worlds. You get the most out of the tyre both times, but you avoid as much of the bad time on the tyre as you can. That point for Tom is right now. He went past the pit lane. He stayed out for another lap, but this lap might be, could still be pit window for Tom. GB68 meanwhile pitting. Question is mediums or softs. I think at this point you would still prefer the mediums. They would be more consistent right now, and in fact that's exactly what he goes on to. Smart choice there from the Aston Martin driver. GB68 is going for the medium as El Taco Man is reversing on the track, but going the right way, just reversing because he has spun, and he is going again. Oh, it's a bumpy part of the off track there. He's got to be very, very careful. He's been on those hards for 45 laps as well, so he should be pitting soon. But El Taco Man, I got to say, huge respect for toughing it out with that amount of damage that he has on the car. I think he's in the wall. He's in the wall as I say that, and that is definitely damage and a yellow flag that might potentially... Oh, he's driving backwards. That's not good. You got to reverse here. And spins the car around. Is that a safety car or VSC? Yeah, Pooch, we know that Taco has basically any kind of damage right now that he can have. And yeah, I want to apologize to Taco for that commentator's curse. Surely he's going to have to pit now after those moments. He's going to go for mediums into the end, but it's a very tough race for him. But man, kudos for toughing it out, staying on the track, staying in the race. In part because you never know. Oh, he's staying out. What is he doing? Is he playing Drive Until the Tires Explode?
Well, he must be. I mean, the one thing he can't do, though, is pin it on Devin Butler because he's not here today. So there is that. But yes, we're now watching the cars make their way through towards Junsao. This, of course, being the fight for P2, essentially. Meraki leading this train with Tom in behind. Also has 3 seconds of penalties to his name, but we'll have DRS heading down this next straight. Safety car! Right!
Whoa.
Now, Zafso has literally just come in, as has Meraki and Tom. Bushy adds, this has not worked for him at all. Bushy...
No, it's okay. It's okay because Bushy is making it past the safety car. Oh, and Tom and Meraki have come together on pit entry.
Goodness me, and a penalty for Tom again for 5 seconds. Adding to his time. It could get removed, but they come out together nonetheless. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Sensational scenes here at this point. And Meraki, who's exiting the pit lane with Tom in behind. Zafso as well there. Where is Infratic? He's currently in 5th place. Has not gone into the pits, but a plethora of cars coming in, including Hayden Gullis, Liam, Juswan Ali, Matty D13. That guy Vince is in. So's Rastin Chai. Everyone coming in on this stint. And I tell you what, incredible scene. 2nd safety car. Kind of surprises me they're actually saying that. Usually there's more than 2 by this point.
Sadly, there's more like 5 or 6 at this stage. But only the 2nd, and Bushy is very lucky here. He can actually pit now, keep the lead, because he made it past the safety car on pit exit. So Bushy coming into the pits. It is perfectly fine for him to pit, and he should keep the lead. He's coming in. That's going to be softs for him as well. Now everyone will be on the right. Infratic has stayed out, but again, he can also still pit, and it's not an issue, right? That is also perfectly fine for him to pit. By that time, someone will have caught up to the safety car. So at that point, nobody will be driving under Delta, but people are still catching up. So it's okay. It's not as good, but it's still okay for Infratic to pit here. And he's probably going to, at the very worst, he's going to re-emerge right around where that guy Vince is, who is on hards, which is just about the worst choice of tyre. The one car that gets screwed over in all of this, the 2 cars that get screwed over in all of this, really, are, of course, the 2 Aston Martins, because they just pitted before the safety car period. 6 laps before for Dale, 2 laps before for GB68. That is the worst timing. Infratic now on soft, as is half of the field, and ahead of that guy Vince in P10. He's trying to get past Razin there, but that did not quite work. So P10 for Infratic. And that is the $1 million question in the chat right now. Who brought out the safety car? Why is there a safety car? Beats me, quite frankly. Maybe we have something from Dan?
We'll find out. We'll find out soon. We are waiting for new clips, in fact. So please, this is a message out to all of you. Please get your clips, and Dan can give us his analysis on them for you as well. We now wait for the cars to come in. We will throw it to you anyway, though, Dan. From your perspective, your view on the race.
It's been an interesting one. A mixture of incidents up and down the field, of course. Some that are entirely self-inflicted, some that have been as a result of some unfortunate incidents, and some from some small mistakes here and there. Just to touch, in fact, on what we saw earlier on. It's good England there for me. we had that clip earlier on with the battle between GB and Infratic, and then there was the little bit of a question mark as to whether it was a bit eager on the accelerator from GB or whether there was contact. Since then, we have seen a clip from Infratic's POV, which does show there was just ever so slight small contact between the two of them. So that's the reason for that half spin earlier on, and I think that that's maybe something emblematic of this race in total. So far, things have been very, very clean for the majority of the race, but you know, things have then occasionally been a bit too close in battle. I think it's fair to say. So one of these things that the drivers, I'm sure, will be keeping a bit more of an eye on now, having that mental reset before they go racing once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Has there been any driver that has actually impressed you the most?
Has impressed me the most, crikey. Well, there's so many of them. I think that I think Bushy has got to be one, even though, it could be said, well, they qualified in pole, they've led a good chunk of the race. What's so impressive about that? I think the fact that obviously at the start they lost all that time, all those positions, were able to then keep that mental fortitude where others around them were losing their heads and were losing time and all sort of thing to get themselves back to the front, I think was very impressive. I think the GB has had a good race as well, despite the contact with Infratic. And then in addition to that, I think that Tom, with that great move earlier on, was just another example of how you can have some fantastic racing in this game.
Well, brilliant stuff. Thank you ever so much for that, Daniel. Obviously, please make sure you folks at home get the clips in for our one, the only Daniel Gilligan. Fantastic analysis, as always. Great to have this new feature with us for the Creator Series. Bushy Ants is still leading the way, though. Meraki in second. Tom in third. Safso fourth. Mr. Dale in fifth place, with GB68 in 6-2. So plenty of action throughout this track. Just when Ali, though, still holding on to the fastest lap of the race so far. And Matty D13 still in 8th place too. We've got an interesting final segment to this race now, Badgerman. There's opportunities for everybody across the board. I'm expecting some early pace from those on the softs.
Yep, the early pace is definitely theirs, but the consistent pace, that is going to be for the medium runners here, for Tom, Mr. Dale, GB, and Jiswan Ali. And with still 17 laps to go at the end of this one, and I don't think everyone's caught up. Maybe we do get safety car in this lap, as Swave was lapped when the safety car came out, so it might not consider him catching up. Oh no, it's staying out, so we're getting a long safety car period here. And yeah, Tom has 8 seconds of penalties, but I would expect 5 of them to potentially, I'm not a steward, I'm not in charge, but potentially get removed, because I'm not sure there was enough of a collision to really warrant that 5-second penalty. And even, well, I say, if there was, I'm checking right now, no, okay, I can't see the damage, unfortunately, on Tom's car, but there certainly isn't any damage to Meraki's car. That I can actually see. And therefore I say no harm, no foul, really. So could very well remove that 5-second penalty, but that is obviously not for me to decide, as more cars are unlapping themselves. We've got everyone on the lead lap except for just Hun and El Taco Man, who are still trying to work through the field to unlap themselves. Obviously, the way this has to happen, if we go and take a look at El Taco Man, is that the car in front has to drive off the circuit in order to let the car behind through. And there it happens. Now we're waiting for just what Ali to do it. There we go. It's a great solution to the problem. I really enjoy that. But we might very well get the safety car in this lap message now in just about 5 to 10 seconds, as the safety car rounds this corner right before Jigsaw. Is it going to happen? Yes, it is.
Yep, coming in now, and certainly backing up the pack. Bushy Ads, he is going to effectively be the safety car as they round Jinsao now. Lap 55 of 71, soon to be lap 56 of 71. We're getting closer and closer to the end. The final chapter of this Creator Series Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you to each and every single one of you. We've broken a viewers record. We've surpassed 300 viewers. You guys are absolutely impeccable, incredible. Sit tight now as we put pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this Grand Prix. Bushy Ads now takes them through towards the centre S's. A mix-up further back as Just Ali looks to come back and haunt them all with Rasin Chai. Liam now moving ahead of Hayden Gullis as well as they head through now the first sector. They come together still as Liam chases after Infratic. They all get away very clean, very calmly. Lap 56 of 71, and Bushy Ads being attacked by Meraki here as well.
Yeah, it's all kicking off right now. Bushiads ahead of Meraki, then Tom and Safso. Remember, the soft runners should have the early pace. GB and Juswan Ali, both on mediums, actually on the back foot right now, with Matty D right behind them. Mr. Dale getting a 3-second time penalty. That is just about the most unlucky thing that has happened to him this race. Granted, the first 7 races of the season, it was a bit different. There were more unlucky things that happened to him. And in the grand scheme of things, he's not going to be too fussed about that 3-second time penalty, but he's not going to be happy about it either. But 56 laps in, Mr. Dale's still in the race, so he's going to count his blessings right now as the top 4 are running off right now. Tom actually doing incredibly well to stay with them on those medium tyres.
Yeah, I tell you what, he is pretty much a sitting duck if you consider the compound, and Zafso is no slouch. I can tell you that much, folks. Heading down now this next straight through the Retta Aposta. Decidio Delago coming up next. The McLaren now looking to rise here at towards the end of this Grand Prix. It's kicking off in the Creator Series. Don't forget to make sure you use hashtag Creator Series and literally post your comments in the social medias. Don't forget Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you let yourselves heard, folks. Make sure you join the socials. Hit the follow buttons as well here on the channel. Stay up to date with when we go live. Don't forget to check out the Discord. The commands there are in the live chat. Certainly Harry will provide them for you as well. And why not? Why don't we kickstart the vote for driver of the day as well? There will be a poll up later on that Harry will supply. And if you are a Sky Q customer, oops, sorry, wrong show. As we're now watching the cars make their way through the final few corners here and begin yet another lap. Lap 58 to come as then they make their way down towards turn 1. Bushians leads. It's Meraki in second, Tom in third, Zafso getting closer in 4th place.
Yellow flag, that is El Taco Man. He is driving fast enough though to not bring out a safety car, so we're fine. But DRS enabled, Tom doesn't have it. He's fallen off the top 2 too much. Safso now needs to have a sense of urgency about him and goes past Tom, and now he needs to use all of his battery to try to catch up to the top 2, or else that train has passed and Safso can at best battle over P3.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Incredible stuff indeed. Safso now above Tom. It was coming. The soft tyres are now working brilliantly, certainly for those at the top end. And let's not forget Matty D13 is closing on Juswan Ali at this point as well. Juswan Ali closing up 2 to GB68. There's literally a plethora of cars right in this midfield now. Harry 59 now with the announcement. Name your top performers of the race. Fill that live chat, folks. We want to hear from you as the cars now sprint through across the line to begin yet another lap. Lap 59 of 71. We're getting closer to the climax, but Tom is once again coming back. Remember, on those medium tyres, he's only done 8 laps on them. He could come back at the end here, Badgerman.
Certainly can, and that is, I think, what he's banking on right now. Tom is just waiting. He is just waiting in the wings of Safso right now, just trying to get dragged along. The DRS certainly helps. And then once the soft tyres start falling off, which will be around lap 63, 64, 65, with those 6, 7, 8 laps remaining, that's when Tom will start striking, reel back in the top 2 potentially, and maybe, just maybe, cross the line in P1. Whether it will be enough to win the race, that's a different question. El Taco Man retires on track, and that brings in a safety car.
Is Tom going to come in? Is Tom going to come in and change on the softs?
No. You want to stay out right now. That would be losing too many positions. And yes, he stays out. It's losing too many positions. If you're Hayden Colors, if you're Dirk Chocolate, if you're Carbon Shadow, if you're Curbs, yes, you can think about coming in because you don't lose many places. But if you're that high up, and in fact, in Pratic, and everyone down except for Dirk. Look at Dirk. He wants to be ahead of Infratic. And Carbon Shadow stays out as well. Everyone else coming in that bottom 7 of the 17 cars on the lead lap. Sorry, hun, you are a lap down. They are all coming in, and they're all going for fresh softs right now. That is the smart choice, but if you're near the front, track position is so crucial. You can't do that, especially not after we just had what 5 laps of racing, 5 laps of racing. No, the tires are still good enough for the top 12 right now. The top 10 really. I think Dirk and Carbon Shadow might regret not pitting, but for the top 10 certainly, tires still good enough to stay out and keep the track position.
Yeah, only a matter now of 11 laps left, and Bushians leads with Meraki in behind, Zafso in behind those two. Now we're going to have a few laps under the safety car. Now this is good news if you're Bushians, Meraki and Zafso to a degree. It means they can save this compound, I think, a little more, therefore reduce the amount of heat going through the tyres. Don't want too much at this stage. You just want to conserve under the safety car, save the tread, because they will be conscious of Tom when we go racing and deeper into the race as well. I tell you what, don't factor out Mr. Dale. This is definitely race of the season for Mr. Dale right now.
Yeah, 10 laps remaining and he's in the top 5 and he's still within it. That is certainly race of the season so far for him, because he has not retired yet. He has not retired yet. Again, there's still 10 laps for him to do it, but so far he's holding up. Might this be the one in 1 and 7? It might very well be, but it's not over yet. At the end of this one, it's going to be 10 laps remaining. Let's hope Hun can actually make her way through the field and unlap herself. She is trying right now. I think she's got past the everyone except the top 6. Just when Ali's going to be the next one, drives off immediately. Top 5 remaining for her to get past. Will Mr. Dale realize? Yes, he does. That leaves Tom next. Yep, there we go. And stuff. This is wonderfully coordinated. And there goes Meraki. And I think, nope, Hunt is just waiting for Bushy to drive off. But we might get safety car in this lap.
It's a possibility.
Is Bushy driving off here? He's not. And there it is. Oh, and Hunt wants to get past, and she's actually overtaking on track. Did Bushy drive off? No, she has to let him through. Oh, Bushy, that is mean.
Well, 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 I tell you what, crafty efforts there from Bushian. Sticks a car between him and Meraki for the restart here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Drama, we love to see it. Hunt still behind him as they now peel down towards this long straight, and they'll put pedal to the metal for the 4th time in this Grand Prix now. Through towards turn 1, and Bushy is clear. Meraki in 2nd. There's still a car in between them, but peels through now Meraki, who has Sasso alongside, side by side between Mr. Dale. Oh, there's a car off. Oh, no. It's Mr. Dale. It's Dale.
Oh, no.
Oh.
He's still going. He's still going. He's not out of the race just yet. Let me check if he has any damage. He does not. One more safety car. Dale is back in this.
Yeah, he needs another one. He needs another one.
Yeah, he needs one more. He is fuming right now, and justifiably so. I hope within the next couple of laps we get a bit of a view with yeah, there you go, Daniel in the chat.
Yeah, send the clips, folks. Get the clips in.
Hopefully we get to see it. And what I find a bit surprising is Bushy didn't let Hun through, and yet Hun indirectly helped Bushy by not letting the other cars through, not going off the track herself. So very weird one, that. And yeah, Bushy, some say dirty tactics, I say smart tactics. Not letting Hun through so that he has a buffer to Meraki, to Safso, to all the cars behind. Yeah, it wasn't the nicest thing to do, but this is a race he has to win here.
Well, I mean, absolutely dramatic scenes. We got Dirk Chocolate as well making moves here past Hayden Gullis as he now makes his way through turn 9. Gullis, though, coming right back at him through towards turn 4 at Decidia Delago. Mercedes and Red Bull. We've seen this before, but through goes Gullis. He's now up into P9. Dirk Chocolate now reduced to 10th with that guy Vince on his tail. They go side by side through the Ferragura. Enter the other Red Bull. Entering Fratic. Fabio with a fantastic send. For trying to follow his teammate. They remain together. The AlphaTauri, the sister car, the sister team saying no at this point. But Infratic has the inside line as they head through this next right-hander. Blistering brilliant pace, but that guy Vince is not done yet.
Dale is around again. Is he trying to cause a safety car himself? He might at this point. No, he's got no front wing.
He's gone.
And he's left us. Oh no!
He's gone.
He's left the set.
He's gone.
He's got no front wing. Does that count as a retirement?
I think it's raw. I think it's hit him hard. It's hit him head on, certainly. And tell you what, it's that guy Vince who's now going to hit Dirk Chocolate head on. The two Red Bulls together again. Goodness me, we've seen this frequently. Certainly the two of them that have battled together, fighting over who's going to be the #1 Red Bull driver. Emphatic answering that question by overtaking Dirk Chocolate in towards the Decidio Del Lago. Mega move there from Emphatic, who has certainly sent it in the last few laps, and he's on that crucial soft tyre that'll take him to the end of the race.
Yeah, all drivers at this point will not pit anymore. That is guaranteed, as Bushy still in the lead. There's a yellow flag. That's for Matty, who's off. That is a safety car. Oh, someone tell Dale to rejoin. Someone tell Dale to rejoin.
Goodness me. Oh, goodness me, folks at home. What are we seeing? Right, I tell you what, we'll have a breather, Badgerman. We're going to go over to Daniel Gilligan for Dan's clipbook. Dan's clipbook, what have you got for us, Dan?
Well, we've got two different incidents. First one is a bit blink and you miss it, really. It's the incident where we saw Taco Man retiring. Bang, straight away into the wall like that, and the wheel disconnected. So that was what ended up happening. That's what caused the retirement for them. It was not, in fact, the damage that we saw earlier on. Now, the other incident that we want to just quickly pull up here is for Dale at the restart there after the safety car. And if I just load this one up for us now, you can see here then, as we'll just skip forward a bit, down towards turn #1, caught out a little bit by the front of the field, jumping away from them. They then go down into turn 1. They leave that bit of space on the inside there for just one alley. Then through the next part of the corner, through the second half, just too eager on the power. And then round they go into the wall. Thankfully, it was back end in first, so they didn't end up losing a tyre or anything like that. It tends to be a bit more sturdy at the back end. But there we go. That was curtains as far as Dale's chances without another safety car in this race.
Well, I think we're glad, Daniel, that your camera placement is actually over Dale's footage, because I bet you he's red with anger right now.
Just a little bit, yes. I think that it's not too dissimilar a skin tone to the soundproofing behind him, really, to be honest.
Fantastic. Lovely. Brilliant analysis. Thank you for that, Daniel. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. So there we go.
And we have news. Mr. Dale has actually rejoined. He is back in this.
Well, I tell you what, not all heroes wear capes, but I think Mr. Dale is wearing his firmly. Great to have him back here in the session. Welcome back, Mr. Dale. There is still laps ahead. And I tell you what, anything can happen. We could still find something dramatic to bring us towards the end of this race. You never know. Maybe the top 15 cars will DNF, Badgerman.
It's certainly possible, but the question is, does Dale have another set of soft tyres? Right now he's on a quite used set, 40% on them, but he's staying out for the last couple of laps. Bit surprised by that. I don't know if he has a new set of softs available. He should have a less used set available, that's for sure. Like maybe 10% from qualifying. So a bit surprised that the game put him on that kind of tyre. But he is staying out, and he's caught up to the safety car now, so no take backsies at this point. Mr. Dale has to stay out, really, on that pretty used tyre. He will make it to the end, and he is actually on a slightly better tyre than the top 3 and P7 and 8. But other than that, it's not actually the best situation for him. But he's got the pace. He can certainly make up a couple of places. Yeah,
he certainly can. And I tell you what, folks, great to have you all with us in the live chat. Great to have every single one of you. We appreciate it. Certainly a wonderful 377 of you tuning in live to watch the Creator Series. How about that? Give yourselves a massive W in the chat. We want to see it. We're about to see the cars go racing again. It is literally going to be a sprint race right to the end. 66 laps out of 71, soon to be 67 out of 71. And I reckon we're probably only going to get 3 laps of magic left, Badgerman.
Yeah, we are getting another lap behind the safety car, so an opportunity for Dale to pit. That is actually really good for Dale. I hope he realizes that. That would be ideal. And yeah, he's coming in. Oh, that is perfection for Dale. I think it's because just Hun was allowed past. So she was past the safety car at the time when it would have come in. Therefore, the game considers her to not have caught up to the safety car. Hence, another lap. And Dale goes for fresher 14-15% soft tires. And now that is a tire he can absolutely compete on. Just to give an idea, that's pretty much what Curbs is on right now. Who's also on 14-15% soft tires. I think the same is going to be true for Swave. Swave's actually worse.
A top 10 isn't out of the question here, Badgerman.
Absolutely not. Top 10 certainly possible for Dale. A couple of incidents ahead maybe, especially at what I would call the breaking point, which is between P8 and P9, between Razit. Whoa, Dale, calm down. Oh, I almost ran into the back of Curbs there. He almost ran into the back of... Oh, that was close.
Oh, wow. Not now, Dale. Not now.
Yeah, not now. Not after 67 laps, please. But we are still not getting safety car in this lap because we're waiting for Hun. So it's one more lap under the safety car for Hun to catch up. And then she's in this as well.
She is.
That is incredible.
She is. I mean, the thing is, the issue is... the problem we have is obviously for Dale, he doesn't want this to carry on as long as possible. He needs this safety car to come in ASAP to give himself a wider window of opportunity to basically machete his way through this field.
Yeah, certainly. He wants to see the restart happen as quickly as possible, and that's not happening right now. He will only have 3 laps remaining, as will all the drivers. When the safety car, if the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, which isn't a guarantee, but can potentially happen, is likely to happen, I would say. And yeah, he's going to have to really push hard. But again, the breaking point between P8 and P9, why do I call that the breaking point? That's where the biggest gap in tire wear and tire performance is right now. Tom, aka Razin, I'm a bit confused now by this. Razin is on 17 lap old softs. Yeah, they're not actually 17 laps old. Plenty of those were under safety car. But if I look at the data for Safso or other drive, in fact, Safso has rear wing and diffuser damage and floor and side pod. Not much floor and side pod, but diffuser and rear wing damage that's quite significant. So that might actually affect Safso here. But we're talking about 35 to 40% tire wear for Razin and Liam. For Hayden Gullis, and for that guy Vince, and for Infratic, and for Swave and Curves, we're talking about 20 to 25%. So massive gap on the soft tires as we now have safety car in this lap. Bushy in charge. What's going to happen? We have 3 laps to go.
Well, around they go for the final time. I've lost count of how many safety cars. I think this is pedal to the metal for the 6th time in this Grand Prix. The Brazilian Grand Prix back underway, and Bushy adds to the rocket of a start as we confirm 3 laps of racing ahead of us. Meraki in second, and Tom now through the inside on the medium tyres has made the move past Safso. He really has taken his chance, taken his opportunity. But the big question is, how are those crucial 3-second time penalties gonna be applied at the end of the race?
Yeah, that is the question. It's 8 seconds for Tom right now, but again, I do think 5 seconds could potentially be removed as we have another yellow flag. This shouldn't cause a safety car. It's between Hun and Curbs who have come together and still causing yellow flag, but they're going again. So Tom, I don't know what's going to happen with his penalties here, with the 5 second in particular. I think it should be removed. Dale, meanwhile, up to P13 already, but I think he had to take avoiding action with Swave, Carbon Shadow, Hun, and Curbs. So he lost a bit of time to Dirk, Infratic, and the whole train ahead. Very unfortunate, but with those tyres, he might be able to catch up in the last 2 laps.
Yeah, he certainly might do. He's got a lot of work to do, though. He's on the fresh soft tyres, so it will give him a shot. Pushy Ants, though, set to go, certainly set to go 2 consecutive wins here should he stay where he is. 1 second ahead of Meraki in second, but Meraki working oh so hard to try and close the gap. But look at Tom, who's fighting back right in the rear diffuser of that Williams through turn 4. They head through to Sidio Delago now, powering through, soon to be the Ferragura coming up next. Bushian still nursing a very healthy advantage, but it just seems that the switch has been flicked and Tom's mediums are now essentially optimized at this point in the race, Badgerman.
They certainly are. The soft tyres are not in good condition anymore, at least for anyone in the top 8. P9 and below, they are still decent, but for the top 8, those who are on the softs there, they're struggling now. The medium tyres, on the other hand, they are just starting. They could go another 20 laps probably at this point without any issue whatsoever, if not 30 to be fair.
Well, here comes Tom.
So,
here comes Tom now.
With no DRS yet. That's going to be enabled at the start of this lap right there. But he still makes it. Does he make it past?
He certainly does. He's got the nose in.
Yes.
He's got the nose in front through turn 1 now as they come back through turn 2, turn 3 next as well. And look who else has come to join the fray, because Joshua Ali is now making his way through, trying to battle Safso, but back again comes Meraki again. They go through turn 4. Tom now losing out still. Meraki with that favourable inside, being gunned down by Safso and Joshua Ali as well. Look at GB68 also finishing quick. We're on the final lap of the race, and these battles are sending it right through towards the checkered flag and to the start-finish line. Bushy Ants effectively with a brilliant lead and an assailable lead that certainly can't be stopped. They head through this next right now. Bushy will make the climb, heading up through towards Judgesau. There you see the train locking horns in behind. No moves being made through the final few corners, but Bushy Ants, after winning at Abu Dhabi, he'll come up towards the line, take his 2nd consecutive win. It's Bushy Ants who wins the Creator Series Brazilian Grand Prix. Tom with another penalty as well to his name. Meraki though comes 2nd. Safso holds 3rd. Tom well out of the top 10. He's P12.
Yeah, but if he does get that 5-second penalty removed, he would move up to P6. So it's not all over for Tom there. He could potentially get that penalty removed, and P6 is on the cards for him. But the big story of this race, it's not Bushy winning. It's not Tom and his potential penalty removal. It is Mr. Dale finally finishing a Creator Series race. 71 laps of Interlagos, and for the first time, Mr. Dale has seen the checkered flag in person.
Well, there we go, Mr. Dale. It was a long time coming. He's had his struggles, he's had his issues, but he's back, and he has finally finished a race here in the Creator Series. And I tell you what, it has been a dramatic one. Credit, though, to the winner, Bushy Ants, who goes 2 times consecutively a race winner here in the Creator Series. And now we're also seeing, yes, Dale, we did it. We did it, my friend. Well done. Also credit to Meraki, who comes in 2nd. Zafso holds on to 3rd. What a race. What drama. It looked like we weren't going to have as many safety cars as what we did, but towards the end, they just came out of nowhere, Badgerman.
They certainly did, and that's the beauty of the Creator Series. You know there's going to be safety cars, you just don't know when.
Exactly.
And in this case, we had one on lap 1, and then we went about 40-ish laps without a safety car, only to get, what was it, 3 in the last 25 to 30 laps. Absolutely incredible. And once again, and this is, I think this should be the slogan of the Creator Series. The Creator Series always delivers.
It certainly does, doesn't it? Bushy Anso takes your victory and also takes the fastest lap. He wins here at Brazil. Meraki 2nd, Zafso 3rd, Joshua Ali 4th, GB68 5th. Hayden Gullis in 6th. Great performance from Hayden Gullis here. Rasinchai in 7th place. That guy Vince in 8th. Liam in 9th. Dirk Chocolate finishing ahead of Infratic, 10th place. And points going to him too. Infratic down 11th. Tom in P12. Mr. Dale in 13th place. Not a bad finish considering where he was. Curbs in 14th. Carbon Shadow 15th. Swave in 16th. Hun down in 17th as well. We lost Matty D13 and El Takaman and Alex Budd. They, of course, did not finish, folks at home. But well, what a fantastic, dramatic race. You guys in the live chat were nuts. You delivered. And I'm going to throw it over to the one, the only, Daniel Gilligan. Daniel, I tell you what a segment we've debuted. Obviously, I'm going to call it Dan's copybook now. I think that's what we're calling it. No, Dan's clipbook. That's what we're calling it. Dan, what a segment. You delivered for us today. What did you think of the race? Oh, he's mute. He's muted.
Oh,
he's back.
There we go. That was something I forgot to undo earlier on because I didn't want to cough on the broadcast. Yeah, it's been really, really good. It's been fantastic today, but I can actually go one better and I can add one last clip into proceedings. And
Brilliant.
It's this one from Curbs. So on the run, on the safety car restart, the final one in the race, down towards turn number 1 we go. Then you can see side-by-side contact between Sways and Carbon. And then as they go through turn number 2 and 3, round the outside they go. And Curbs then getting a great drive all the way around the outside of these cars. Can they then hold it all the way down towards Cena Delago? That's the question. Along comes the question. Here's the answer. And they had to leave the space, but not quite enough space, or maybe somebody was too adventurous, and then the damage comes. And then big floor damage and side pod damage as well. So not the way they wanted it to end, but it provided us just that little bit of extra content to look at after the race.
Yeah, we certainly love the content, and you brought plenty of it, Daniel. It was great to have this. Did you enjoy your time as the analyst, should we say, on the broadcast?
No, I hated it. Absolutely despised it. I'll never come back. Yes, no, I loved it. It was great fun. And a big thank you to everybody who was submitting the clips as well, because without them, this would have been very difficult, because as good as I like to think I am, I don't think I could watch 20 streams simultaneously and then make clips for them as well. I think that would be just a little bit beyond my abilities. So yes, it's been great fun, and hopefully we get to do it all again next time.
Oh, definitely. It's been a pleasure bringing it as well, Daniel. To have your own segment, I think it's fantastic. Great to have it. We want to see more. And certainly everyone in the live chat was sending in their love for it too. So congratulations. Brilliant job. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we do.
Certainly will. Daniel, thank you ever so much. So there we go. A debut of a new feature. Debut and a brilliant win as well for Bushy Ants. And his pace was red hot right through the race, wasn't it, Badgerman?
It was absolutely scintillating. He was just flying all race, qualifying. He dominated a quarter of a second in Q3. Absolutely mental gap, and just a deserved winner. Finally, it's all coming together for Bushy Ants. He's had the pace all along. It's just the last race and now at Brazil where things finally start to click for him. And they finally go right for him. And that's the end result that we see, is Bushy winning back-to-back. And clearly, after Season 1 of the Creator Series, being under the theme of no one can win 2 races, now Season 2 is, if you win, you're guaranteed to win at least back-to-back.
Absolutely. And we do have the man himself here in the live chat with us. Bushy Ants with us here in the commentator's booth. What a result. 2 times consecutive now, a race winner here in the Creator Series. Obviously breaking the streak held, of course, by that of Alex Gillen and then eventually Tiamat Marduk as well. You must be thrilled after that performance and result.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be carrying Hayden as usual. So that's probably
you'll love that.
That's probably my biggest achievement in life. I've peaked. But yeah, no, I'm surprised that my pace was that good, because I'm not feeling 100% today. So I actually wasn't even gonna do this race, but I thought, you know what, let me just hop on and see what happens. So pretty happy overall with the pace. Qualifying was good, and then the race, I feel I just managed it really well.
It was a very well managed race by you. I must say, I enjoyed the performance. It was superb. Meraki gave you a few things to think about throughout the race, and obviously you had to answer some questions that he essentially fielded you during the race as well. Naturally, going forwards though, you just held the pace, you held the demand. When the safety cars came out, you primed it brilliantly. Would you say it was a perfect race from your perspective?
Nah, I think for me the perfect race was Zandvoort last season. I somehow managed to gap Alex by 20 seconds at the end, so that's the perfect race for me. But this is very close. I'd say this was a 9.9 or 9.8. in terms of just how I managed it. But Jake was quick the whole race. I think he just ran out of ERS during the midsection of the race, and that's what allowed me to gap him, because I just had for the entire midsection I had like 60%.
I thought you were going to say you ran out of talent. I thought you were going to say you ran out of talent then for a minute.
That as well. That as well.
Incredible. I mean, from your perspective, Jake, obviously we brought you into the broadcast booth here. We're just interviewing, obviously, Bushy Ants. Great to have you back here again as well, Meraki. Obviously, the win was not on the table today necessarily. I know you were sort of pecking and prodding at Bushy at certain moments, but the pace was certainly, I think, in Bushy Ants' hands on this occasion.
Yeah, I think he just absolutely nailed the setup, to be honest, because every time I got close on the straights, he would gain that back and some in the middle sector. Because I noticed in Q3, he was like 3 tenths quicker than me, and it wasn't a bad middle sector from me, but it wasn't like a 3 tenths bad middle sector. So that was kind of when I kind of noticed I might be a little bit up against it if he's that much faster. And yeah, it was just a matter of him putting away more than I could gain on him. So,
well, I mean, you two were certainly, it wasn't just the race that you were both showing the pace, but qualifying as well. Now, Bushy, talk to me about that lap, because that final lap was absolutely scintillating. I think it measured that you were 2.5 tenths quicker than Meraki coming to the end of the session.
Yeah, I did like 1 or 2 runs in GP mode just before we hopped in the lobby. And I did a 7 flat and then a 7.3, so I knew the pace was somewhat there, considering I was close to what I've done in TT. I just needed to get the lap together. The last sector I messed up the final corner a little bit, but luckily it was still enough to get pulled by quite a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And yourself, Jake, obviously off the back of that, was it a case that there was more you could have extracted out of that lap, or did you think you hit the maximum in terms of pace?
I think so. Because in practice, like literally 20 minutes before the session, I did I think a 7.1. Well, I was on for a 7.1. Like, put up the sectors together. But yeah, it was just I went on the mediums in Q1 because I thought I was going to. I got told you guys thought that was a really bad decision, by the way.
Yep.
I have my like my agents in your chat. But
good. They should have told you.
No. In fairness, it didn't really make that much of a difference because it's only like 1 extra lap of wear on the mediums, and it didn't make that much of a difference in the race today anyway. But ideally, I was going to do 2 brand new soft runs in Q3 just so I didn't have to risk it all in the final run. But a certain Yona Martins came in my chat and said, don't do it. And he said, just, do a scrub set and then a new set. So, if anything, I'm going to blame Yona Martins for not winning this race and not getting pole.
I think that's a fair cop. I think that's a fair cop, I think.
Yeah, it's just Yona Martins' fault. It's never my fault.
If in doubt, blame Yona Martins. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. But no, congratulations, both of you. Obviously, congratulations, Bushy Ants, on the win. Looking forward through the season. More opportunities. Can you effectively equal, do you think, Bushy, the current record set this season, 3 consecutive wins apiece with Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk? Is that something you can achieve heading into next week?
I'll try my best. That's all I can do.
We'll take him out back.
Hopefully, if Ben and Alex
take him out to
crash into each other.
I won't be there to see it because I'm in Portimao. But yeah, best of luck to the pair of you, and we'll certainly look forward to seeing how you guys get on. But congratulations, Bushy, on the result, and you, Meraki, on the P2. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Onwards and upwards. The real story, though, folks. The real story. It's Mr. Dale. Yeah, Mr. Dale.
Good evening, George.
Let's go, Dale.
Dale, you finished a race.
The strategy paid off, boys. Yeah. We went soft, medium, rage quit soft. It paid off.
Fantastic.
I never see the day where we ended up in the commentary booth and doing something productive in a creator series.
Well, to be fair, I was going to give up on you and just bring you in for the memes, but it's nice to actually bring you in for something of substance.
Honestly,
for once. But
it was going so well. Honestly, the setup was bad. I didn't go with a good set. We went with 25-17 wings. Left me a sitting duck on the straights. Safety car restarts wasn't going well. We made it so far through the race without a whimper of a mistake, and then just it started to fall apart at the end. It's just the consistency. We're still working on that, but next week at Baku, I honestly think you're going to see me on the podium.
There's nothing wrong with your pace, though, is there? There isn't.
It's literally just the consistency.
It is.
I have a heavy right foot. It gets me in trouble a lot. But honestly, I spent 15 to 20 hours practicing Brazil this week, and I really hope it paid off. And we drove a much better race than usual.
I think Badgerman would agree. I think based on qualifying, I think definitely you know, whatever practice you were putting in was definitely working, because from our perspective, Badgerman, I mean, Dale was taking purple sectors on quite a few occasions.
Yeah, I think the strongest sector, obviously, for the car was purple sector 2. I was pulling that most of the time, but I think that was just purely down to the downforce. But down the straight, it was just
Sector 1 was
it's
pretty
awful.
tight, though. Sector 1 was
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's the sector 3, that long straight, the run down to the line, the amount of time we're losing there was absurd. But yeah, I really enjoyed today. It's been an incredible race.
Well, hey, what a fight back. You know, definitely one of the best stories. I think you won Driver of the Day as well by a landslide, by all accounts. So,
Up to the council.
Can I just chime in there? Dale won Driver of the Day with a whopping 47% of the vote.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
there we are.
Thank you very much.
We were getting a lot of up the council comments in the live chat as well. So yeah, definitely up the council, everybody. Incredible, but wonderful.
Honestly, thanks again to the Creator Series. None of this would be possible without you guys and the commentators as well. So honestly, incredible job, incredible commentary, and I can't wait to get to the next race.
Hey, look, it's been great having you again, Dale. Hopefully, we'll have you back in the next time for a podium.
Let's
Who knows?
hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so
Well,
indeed.
Thank you very much, guys. I hope everyone has a good
Technically,
night.
just thinking, we could still call you 008 because we got 0 points, 0 podiums, 8 races.
Mate.
we can still. There's still a way around it.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
Jake, way to ruin a great moment.
Yeah. It was wholesome up to that point. It was wholesome up to that point.
No,
Guys-
next week is Baku. Maybe this is
that's
foresighting
my
when
track.
Dale's going to crash.
Nah, if there's
To
2
the
tracks on the
castle
calendar, I hold utmost confidence it is Baku and Monaco.
Well, just
and
whatever, Dale, whatever you
mean-
do, mate, turn the brake magic off, mate. Whatever you do. All right.
I'd like to add Dale to the list if I'm taking out and back in.
AKA ABS.
Don't worry about the ABS. Don't out me like that. Right, I'm going to jump out, guys. Thank you very much for the incredible race.
Bye, Dale.
See
My
you
pleasure.
guys.
Well done, guys. Well done. Now, I tell you what, from that on that bombshell, let's head across to Zafso. Zafso, I mean, incredible race. I think you were struggling though with a different kind of issue. Obviously, I believe there was some damage that afflicted your car. Essentially, is what removed you from a top 4.
Yeah, just generally the whole race, I think I made 3 big mistakes that pretty much cost me in the end. Yeah, that damage. I think I accidentally slowed down while Dale was accelerating. I thought I gave him front wing damage, thankfully I didn't. But I got very, 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 very slight rear wing damage. It wasn't the kind that like made the car undrivable, but I could definitely feel it. And just not having that confidence to plant it, knowing the car will just slip, it completely takes away.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of analysis on it because Badgerman was telling me about his wrench and his screwdriver on his telemetry. So that apparently popped up. We were trying to decipher what that actually meant because we assumed it meant repairs were necessary. But...
No. Hold on. Now you're mixing things up. The wrench and the screwdriver were with Alex Budd in qualifying.
So you mean
that
to
had
tell
nothing
me?
to do with
So you mean
Zafso.
to say that Zafso didn't have a spanner or a screwdriver?
Yes. He didn't have that pop up. At least I didn't say that. Maybe he had it popped up when Swade was in the pits for sure, but I didn't mention that at the time.
Well, if you didn't have I was going to say if you didn't have a screwdriver or a spanner, then I'd highly recommend that you invest in said tools. Therefore, you can repair said car. That's what I'm taking from that situation. But hey, Zafso, your pace was on point. You were right in the fight up at the sharp end. You've got to take some positives from the race, despite the issue.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like I was saying to my chat after the race, like, yeah, I'm being way too negative because there were so many things like, what if this, what if that, but it was still a very good race, much better than I was expecting. This is usually like one of my, like, I think I usually say top 5 worst tracks on the game, so I don't really know where the pace came from, but I'm not complaining about it. And yeah, again, if it just weren't for those 3 things, the 2 mistakes at the last corner behind Jake and behind Tom, if it weren't for those and the rear wing damage, I definitely could have challenged for P2, but it is what it is. A podium's still a podium, so definitely can't be too upset with it.
And feelings after qualifying, what was the viewpoint on that?
And how did I feel after the P3 in quali?
Yes.
Oh, I wanted the win.
You wanted the win.
I definitely wanted it. I wanted it, but I knew it was incredibly unlikely with Bushy's pace. So I was just like, you know what, we'll try and get lucky with the safety cars. If we can't, maybe we can get Jake for P2. Yeah, they were both very quick. The both of them did a pretty much flawless race. And I unfortunately made some mistakes
Well, we've got Baku coming up next, of course, and obviously we'll wish you the very best of luck for the big bounce back, I suppose, that should be on the cards. But great effort today, Zaf, so you were just a bit unfortunate about the damage. But best of luck next week. I think we might have lost him. He's gone. There we go. Zaf's gone. That's the end of that. But yes, folks, I mean, can I just say this first and foremost? An incredible race, certainly a huge high-octane fight right through towards the end. I mean, we've witnessed a wonderful result, certainly for Bushy Ants. I'm going to, obviously, just quickly, before we end the show today, I'm going to pass it across to Daniel Gilligan. Any further thoughts from you, Daniel, as we head to your clipbook for the final time today?
Final thoughts. I think just some great racing, some great stories that happened in that one as well. Some good battles, some good fights. Good fights, as Fernando Alonso would say, and it's all been very good fun. I think that it's one of those things where the drivers will have to do a bit of regrouping, a bit of soul searching in some cases, perhaps a bit further down towards the back end of the field, and maybe there'll be some lessons learned about how cautious to be into turn one after all of that as well. But yes, that's basically been it. But one last thing that we'll leave you with, from my perspective at least, is this clip that's coming from Hayden Gullis on that safety car restart back on lap 61. So here they are getting ready to go once again at the safety car restart, and then they can see the front of the field is gone, but the middle of the field has decided to stay still. And you can hear him shouting about how good a safety car restart that was. He's up into P12, and then with Dale's mistake, sorry to mention it again, Dale, but that's then P11 for them in just a couple of corners. So there we are. Not a bad restart for Mr. Gullis.
No, fantastic. And he would have been absolutely thrilled with that without any shadow of a doubt. But no, it's been fantastic to introduce this segment onto the show. Thank you so much, Daniel, for all your brilliance and analysis throughout the show today.
You're far too kind. I'll pay you later.
Thank you very much. We'll remember that. But yeah,
Please don't. I'm very poor.
Incredible. But folks, I got to say, first and foremost, before we do end the show, it has been an absolute privilege. I just want to say as well, first of all, Badgerman, any final thoughts from you?
I'm just exhausted from merely watching and commentating over it. Incredible race. Once again, just every Saturday, like, Creator Series don't miss. It's that simple. And I already can't wait for Baku next week. I'm going to need a little bit of a recovery time, but next Saturday, I am so ready.
Well, I tell you what, I won't be here, unfortunately, because I will be in Portimao doing some GT Open, GT Cup, and Euro Formula, but you can find me live. But don't forget to tune into the Creator Series, because this broadcast will run without any shadow of a doubt anyway, so make sure you tune in. Do not miss it. Of course, folks, it has been a pleasure, and I want to say this to you guys at home. It has been a privilege, certainly broadcasting to each and every single one of you. This race has been absolutely spectacular. A thriller for Bushy Ants to go second time in a row as a winner of a Creator Series Grand Prix. And we would like to, first of all, appreciate all the new followers that have come to join us, the new live viewers that have come in time after time. We're increasing the viewers' records. We are breaking them a plum, and it's all down to you at home. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to check out the Creator Series by using @F1 Creator Series for Twitter and Instagram, and not forgetting the YouTube channel as well, where this stream will get uploaded, I would say sometime next week for sure. But please also, if you haven't done so already, please leave a follow to this stream channel, obviously here on Twitch, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube as well. If you want to check out the Discord, !Discord, and you can find the link and join certainly Dirk's Discord. There, of course, the Creator Series is run from there as well, and stay up to date with every time we go live and get all the updates as well in terms of the championship standings and other data as well as necessary. If you don't know me, my name is of course George Morgan. I have been your commentator alongside Badgerman today. If you want to check me out, I am @GeorgeMorganTV on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok and various other places. Badgerman, do you want to share your socials as well, if you please?
Yes, of course I will. No, obviously I wouldn't. So it's Badgerman TV with a 3 in the middle. So you have to replace the E in Badgerman with a 3. Badgerman TV on Twitter and Badgerman everywhere else. The Badgerman wasn't available on Twitter, unfortunately, but it is what it is. You may have seen the data channel today. That was running on my Twitch channel at Badgerman, and you can check out some F1 Manager series there. as well. And again, next Saturday, more data.
Absolutely. More Creator Series to come next week. And Daniel Gilligan, do you want to share your socials as well?
I certainly can do, yes. On Twitch over here, I'm twitch.tv/Daniel Gilligan. It's very easy to remember.
Very easy.
On Instagram, it's @DA Gilligan, so it's a bit shorter, but, whatever. And then over on Twitter, well, then we make it completely different altogether. It's @RaceO'ClockPod.
There you go. Make sure you check it out, folks, and give some support to these two fine gentlemen indeed. It's been a privilege, certainly, to have you all on board. We'll see you next week for more action here in the F1 Career Series, brought to you by Sim Racing Centre and Grid Finder. Take care, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.